Well, I was walking down the street, feeling kind of neat, when the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. Oh, it was a sight to see, my hair flying in the breeze, 'cause the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. People started laughing, they couldn't believe their eyes as my wig flew through the sky. Oh, what a surprise. I tried to catch it, but it slipped right through my hands, 'cause the wind came out your butt and now it's somewhere in the land. Oh, wind came out your butt, blew my wig off. Baby, you drive like shit. Did you see the car that you almost hit? I'd rather take the bus instead. Riding with you, I'm gonna end up dead. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. She just ran through always stop. I ain't trying to get stopped by the cops. Baby, why the hell did I let you drive? It's a miracle that you're still alive. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look out, my girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. My girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. You may make no heard to think your tongue. Gotta let you know I will fuck you up. I whoop that ass, talking all that shit, spank that ass like a bitch. No, I ain't playing. I'm here to kick ass. Whoop that ass. It's time to punch face. I'm the one who brings you pain in the ring. I whoop that ass until the bell rings. Already know that I do not play. Throw a box like I'm cutting down hay. I whoop that ass every single night. Spank that ass till they stop the fight. I'll tell you the story of a man, a radioactive tip in his hand. His hand grew 10 times its normal size to help him get his money on time. He knew if the bitch was telling a lie, it was 100% of the time. Superpowers to make a bitch listen, then get her naked with sex-ray vision. Keep a police station in a single bound, slapping bitches down to the fucking ground. His name was famous across the land. They called him the pimp named Superhand. Oh shit, yeah, the pimp named Superhand. He had powers no other pimp had. Oh fuck yeah, pimp named Superhand. That motherfucker was super bad. Asking for dinner ain't asking for much. You had one job and still fucked it up. Sometimes you gotta learn respect. I use my pimp hand to correct. It's called a bitch slap, slap. Come get your face. hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
We're gonna get back into the conversation that we were just having in the previous video and try to see if we can get this correct. I got Miss Jackson, the culprit of the night, the goddamn culprit, with an echo.
What's good, fam, man? I don't know what happened, man. My bad, bro. I was trying to, stream it equivalent to the stream on my channel. So that was
KK, you gonna have to. I don't know if you got headphones. Can you put some headphones on? Cause you got an echo.
Nah, remember I told you my phone it don't have that Apple.
Yeah, but you didn't have an echo last time. You got an echo real bad. Trying to see how you could possibly fix that. Let's see if that did anything. See if that did anything. Yeah, you're gonna have to. Do you got YouTube open in another window or something?
Okay, let me check. Hold on, let me check. Hold on for a minute.
See, we got Domino King in the building. Said Funky Town, Texas. Yeah. We about to talk about Funky Town, Texas. Trying to get Miss Jackson audio right. But for y'all that's coming in right now, revamp from the last video we just tried to do. We're talking about the Austin Metcalf, Karmelo Anthony situation. They were in the midst of having the Fox News people get on here and fake cry with the mother and the other son talking. Still echo. Still got an echo. Check your audio settings in StreamYard. But
all right.
We're gonna get back into it, y'all. Will Kane was trying to act like he was so concerned about the situation, but if y'all don't know, the situation was there was a stabbing that happened at a track meet. The news was reporting on it, and we're kind of going through it. There was some interesting things that were said earlier, but I'm not gonna run through it because it's only 3 minutes, so y'all can go back and watch the other video and get yourself up on what happened. And Domino King said, keep your hands to yourself. I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Everybody should keep their hands to themselves. If you put your hands on somebody, you put your hands on somebody's things or somebody's family or some things like that, don't be surprised with the result that you get. I will say that. But I said this from the get-go in the last video, and I'll make sure I say it right now. My prayers go out and condolences go out to the Metcalf family. It goes out to them. And also, my prayers and hope go out to the Anthony family. Because I know a lot of people are trying to use this to further their own agenda on this or that. And yeah, that shit don't ride around here. Just put it like that. That shit don't ride around here. But let me see. Jackson, see, not bad as an echo. Say something.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just hear a little bit of, it's like a click. I can deal with that. Tell the people where to find you at.
Kenny Jackson at YouTube. School for Justice. You come over there, like, share, subscribe with me, and enjoy the open discussion.
Yeah, you gotta have that shit playing again. Like, do you got another window open on your phone? Because I know of. Yeah, because I can hear the music from the show playing. Like, pull up all the windows you got open. If you got YouTube still open, turn it off.
Okay, you want me to just drop off and drop back on? Maybe I can kill it like that.
Yeah, but you still gonna have YouTube still up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just like open up all the apps you got open. Like, you know how we can do it on Android. Y'all iPhone people, I don't know how y'all do y'all shit. But you know how you pull up all your shit and just swipe away YouTube. Cause it's echoing through.
Okay, I got you.
All right. Well, here y'all. Real quick. We're gonna go ahead and jump back into the video. We're gonna jump back into it, see what the news people were covering it at, and we're gonna keep the show rolling. Hopefully we can get this fixed real quick, but either way though, check it out. Here we go.
Meanwhile, Metcalf's mother and twin brother spoke on Fox News this afternoon.
I put my head up there, trying to make it stop and I grab
The thing about that, Fox News was ready to jump on and try to interview this family. Keep going. I'm sorry.
and I was in his eyes. I just saw this go weed and took my soul too.
I'm so sorry. Hunter Metcalf described his twin brother.
Bitch, not one tear came out your fucking face. I'm sorry.
Austin's final moments as he lay dying in his brother's arms. On Wednesday, Memorial High School junior Austin Metcalf was stabbed to death while attending a UIL District 11-5A track meet in Frisco, and many questions remain unanswered. Police say 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony, who attends Centennial High School, stabbed Metcalf in the chest in the stands. Metcalf's father believes the fight started over a seating dispute.
I pray that, maybe.
Another part that I wanted to address in the last video, when the news reporter said that the police said some form of fight erupted before the stabbing. What did they just say again?
Metcalf in the chest in the stands. Metcalf's father remain unanswered. Police say 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony, who attends Centennial High School, stabbed Metcalf in the chest in the stands. Metcalf's father believes the fight started over a seating dispute.
A fight. Remember that, because I've watched a lot of these, and Marcus was talking about it a little bit earlier. These race baiters that are coming in and trying to make it seem like this kid was just innocent. And I'm on, look, I'm objective. But clearly there was an altercation. And the way that they tried to frame it was, this kid just walked up and said, "Hey, can you just get out of this spot?" And they're going to get into it. But once again, twice now. I know y'all got to go back and watch the other video. But the first news report was, the police said there was some form of a fight, some sort of fight. The father of the son who got stabbed, that is no longer here, said he thinks this kind of erupted after this fight. But the narrative that people are pushing on the internet is, this kid just asked somebody to move, and he got stabbed for it. Let's keep going.
I pray that, maybe there's changes made as far as security or things like that. And maybe we can learn from this and try to turn a tragedy into something positive to make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else's child. I don't want parents to feel like I feel today.
Shortly after the deadly encounter, a district spokesperson said that the stadium was immediately secured and students were released and sent back to their home campus on Frisco ISD buses.
Crime doesn't discriminate age, and that unfortunately victimization can happen at any time, at any moment, even when we think that we are safe.
Dr. Alex Del Carmen is a criminologist. Neither the district nor the Frisco Police Department have said what security measures were in place at the stadium on the day of the fatal stabbing. Del Carmen says no doubt the district and police will be looking closely at this.
And what likely will happen is,
Now think about what they're talking about right now, y'all. They're talking about security measures at a track meet. But why are they saying something about security measures? It ain't like somebody just randomly walked up there and started shooting people, or randomly walked up there and started stabbing somebody. There was an altercation. There was a fight, and somebody got stabbed. Are you talking about to prevent people from bringing in weapons? I hope that's what they're hinting at, whether it's students or spectators. I'm hoping that's what they're hinting at, but I'm catching a different drift from what they're saying right now.
They're going to look into the suspect's background and find out whether or not there's been signs that perhaps were missed by the family, by the school, and by law enforcement. I think that what really this does invite is a bigger discussion, which is, how much are we willing to give up in terms of our freedoms, in terms of the things that we take for granted for the sake of protection.
And the track meet, of course, was suspended yesterday. Frisco ISD tells us that it has been rescheduled for next week, but did not release further details to us. Meanwhile, I can tell you that Anthony remains in jail on a $1 million bond charged with murder.
A teenager accused of stabbing another student athlete.
$1 million bond for the kid. 17 years old. Both of them were 17. I understand there was a situation that popped off and one kid got stabbed. $1 million bond. That's more bond than they get for a cop that shoot a black man running away in the back. That's if the cop even get a bond. Like if they even get charged. But Mr. Jackson, I'm gonna get you up in here. Let me see what your audio sound like.
Okay, what's good, fam? That's any better?
Yeah, as long as I'm not talking, you good. I'ma just not talk when you talk.
All right, I tried to close out all windows and shut everything down. But yeah, it's ridiculous, man. It's more on the self-defense end because they stated out their own mouth that the two young fellas had a physical altercation that they had in fight. And evidently there was, a history, a pattern of this going on. And so Anthony Karmelo felt the need to be prepared to defend himself. Maybe they made threats or provoked him to where they was going to gang up on him. He had a twin brother. The other guy had a twin brother, and maybe his little friends or whatever, and act like they was going to gang jump him or whatever during practice or at school or, while they was doing sports.
No. I gotta stop you because we got to stay on. Like, they didn't go to the same school. They didn't know each other. This incident happened at a track meet where it was raining. It was multiple schools there. It was raining, and Karmelo went underneath a tent. It wasn't his team's tent, and they came up on him. That's how this situation happened. It ain't that they were bullying each other in school and shit. It wasn't none of that. They didn't go to the same school. But keep going. Okay,
I got you. So for whatever odd reason, Anthony felt the need to, he just had something on him in his backpack or whatever the case may be, and used it when he felt was necessary. Okay, then you said like it was cold-blooded deletion or the M word that they got him on a $1 million bond. Now, on the flip side, a lot of people would say, well, why did he have a weapon? Why did he even feel the need to go to a sport event or practice, on the team that he was on or whatnot, a school activity with sports and practice with a weapon? You know what I'm saying? And some people would consider that premeditation or plotting to do harm to somebody. So it's kind of from all angles and different aspects. You know what I'm saying? But as we can hear in the mainstream story, that the other young fellow was the aggressor. And when he came or ran up on Anthony defended himself.
But we ain't heard that yet. And everything I'm showing right now is local. I don't want to show the mainstream. Hopefully it's not no mainstream media in this, because I specifically picked this video for it not to be mainstream. But it's just local Texas reporting. And I just want to keep it clear for what's transpired from what we heard so far.
Gotcha. But I mentioned that just from, having an overall idea of the story.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Right now, they said there was a fight. The father said it was a fight. The cops reported to the news, and the news reported it that there was a fight, some sort of fight, and this young man got stabbed. But here, let's go into the next news report because they were talking about this, man. This got blown up real bad, and I'm gonna show some. I got a real issue with the way this situation is being handled and the way this situation is being talked about, and y'all will see why when we get towards the end. But either way, though, let's keep going.
That a track meet told officers as he was being taken into custody that he did it in self-defense.
Austin Metcalf was killed this week at that Frisco track meet. New documents detail what happened before and after 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony allegedly pulled a knife from his backpack and stabbed him. Fox 4's Alex Boyer joining us now live with the latest. Alex.
Hey guys, and in that 7-page arrest warrant affidavit, several witnesses, including Metcalf's twin brother, describe how that deadly encounter went down. The suspect then reportedly admitted to a Frisco police officer who detained him that he had stabbed Metcalf.
My son is gone, and I don't really have words. I've tried to figure out
Where the tears at? And Will Kane, stop pretending like you care.
what I was going to say, but he's just going to be so missed.
The pain is still raw for the Metcalf family after 17-year-old Austin Metcalf was killed on Wednesday morning at a UIL District 11-5A track meet in Frisco.
I think he was extremely smart, always in the box. He just came to a real easy. Him playing football as well just made him just a great person overall.
Here's what happened according to witnesses and the police report. Metcalf got into an argument with the suspect, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony, over a seating dispute in the bleachers. Metcalf told Anthony he needed to move from under the team's tent.
He always was one to step up and be the person that would do the right thing. And he was doing the right thing by saying to those gentlemen that you're not supposed to be in this tent. This is because they have personal items there.
Anthony opened his bag and...
Now, you hear how the mother and they're trying to shape it now, because I'm giving y'all chronological how these news reports started coming out. In the very beginning, we heard the first two. The news said that the police reported to the news that there was some sort of fight. Even the father, when they interviewed him, he said some fight sparked off and then this happened. Now, they're trying to say an argument. Track how this shit is changing, how the narrative is slowly changing. And the mother's over here talking about her son was always trying to do the right thing. Whether they told you or not, and hopefully they tell you later in this, it was a track meet and it was pouring down raining. It just started pouring down raining. So Karmelo ran underneath the tent. These young men, her sons, came from another tent and told him he needed to move. That's how this shit sparked off. Now remember, they already said twice it was a fight. Now they're saying it was an argument. But let's continue. Let's not get lost in the sauce about what transpired in this. Miss Jackson, did you have anything before I kept going?
Well, no, go ahead. But from what I'm speculating from the mother, she was saying because there was personal items inside the tent and that her son, Austin, was pretty much a leader, always standing up for doing the right thing. And so as if she's to insinuate that each team member was supposed to stay in a certain location or a certain tent, whatever team that they are assigned to, but if, that's not showing as specified. So yeah, I'm following to, what the narrative is really going.
It sounds like she's trying to justify her son running up on that dude and telling him to get up out of there. Because people have personal belongings around here. We don't know who you are. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like she's trying to justify her son saying something to somebody. And either way, though,
right.
Let's keep going.
Reached inside and said to Metcalf, "Touch me and see what happens."
Okay,
Metcalf,
hold up. Let's go back.
Items there.
Anthony opened his bag and reached inside and said to Metcalf, "Touch me and see what happens." Metcalf reportedly grabbed Anthony and told him to move.
He knew he wasn't supposed to be there. He was just a tragedy what happened.
That's when Anthony pulled out a black knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest once before running away. When Anthony was taken into custody by a Frisco police officer, Anthony reportedly confessed to the crime, saying, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to," adding that, "I was protecting myself," and then asked the police officer, "Is he going to be okay?" Metcalf died in his...
Now think about that. When Karmelo, the kid that actually stabbed him, the black kid, he admitted to what he did. He told why he did what he did. And he asked if the guy was okay. Now, I don't know if y'all seen, but I know I've seen. They've called this boy a thug. They called him everything but a child of God. With a criminal, got it in the soul, admit to doing a crime. Would a criminal check on the person that they harmed? Every criminal would justify why they did what they did, but this boy did two things you don't expect from the average criminal. But people are calling him a thug, a criminal, all these things, everything. You come from a fucked up family and all these people coming out the woodwork saying shit about him because they're triggered. They feel some type of way because of the racial dynamic of it. The kid said why he did what he did. And even if he would have said, "I feared for my life," that still wouldn't have been good enough for these same people. he put his hands on him. We don't know in what form does he mean by that. It sounds like somebody approached somebody and put their hands on somebody and somebody defended themselves. Now, if it was the other way around, and people need to really be honest with themselves in America right now, if it was the other way around and some black dude approached some white dude, put his hands on him and try to make him move somewhere, and that white dude stabbed him, how many of y'all that think Karmelo's wrong would be agreeing that that white kid would have been wrong? It's probably fucking zero. Y'all flip the whole script. Say, nah, they shouldn't have put their hands on him. I'm like, let's listen to what they're actually saying. Miss Jackson, go ahead and get up here and give me your thoughts real quick.
Yeah, man, it's a tragic situation, you know, and what the media or the news or the press is not reporting is that Austin was the aggressor, that he ran up on Karmelo and put his hands on him first. Now, what they're probably looking at is, why did Karmelo feel the need to have a weapon with him or, be strapped up to just go to practice? You know what I'm saying? For his games.
Yeah, it was a track meet, but look, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that argument right now. We're gonna deal with that at the end. Let other people bring that argument. Yeah, but
I'm just looking at it from all angles and all perspectives. Just how they build a case against Karmelo at 17 years old and charging him as an adult. So I'm looking at it from all aspects, and the system is and the police is trying to consider that premeditated due to the fact that he, had a weapon on hand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just let it get there, though. Like, I want everybody to get walked through it. I don't want to tell them where we are now, because we already know. Me and you've been watching. We know where they are now. But let's let it get through till we get to that point, because we gonna get to it. I promise you, we're gonna get to it.
Right, but again, what the media and the press is not stressing is that Austin was the aggressor, that he approached Karmelo and he physically assaulted him first. So this is how the whole case got started.
All right, let's keep rocking, y'all.
His brother's arms.
I'm not at that point to forget, but eventually I will. But I pray for his family. I pray that they understand what we're going through as well.
This whole community has really wrapped their arms around us, and if I could say anything to the nation, I would say to make sure that you just hug your babies tight, because you don't know when the last time you get to do it.
And in a statement released by the Metcalf family this afternoon, they say their focus is now on laying Austin to rest. Meanwhile, I can tell you that Anthony remains in the Collin County Jail with a $1 million bond. Back to you.
All right, Alex Boyer in Dallas tonight. Alex, thank you.
Well, Jeff, I just take me through as far as you know.
Hey, look, I do want to say this, y'all, about this man right here on camera. This is the father of the young man who got stabbed, the young man who lost his life. I have respect for this father. I have a lot of respect for this father. Despite other things that people will be transpiring on, like giving their opinion on, I have respect for this father for the way he's handling this situation. He's handling it like an adult. And I'm just saying that ahead of time.
The events of this morning. What happened? How did you get the call? How did you figure out what happened to your son?
Well, it started with a call from his football coach who was not at the track meet and said, I think Austin has been stabbed. And I said, where at? And he said, Coopendall Stadium. I said, I'm on my way. So I drove up there, went through a load of police officers, and was able to see my son on the gurney with a huge hole and blood all over him, and they were pumping him. He wasn't breathing. His eyes were rolled back in his head. So I had to find his brother. They're twins. And I found Hunter and tried to get him under control as best we could. And then I loaded him up in my car, and we drove to the hospital as quickly as possible. And we waited. And when the doctors came in and said that he didn't make it, it was tough. My son took it extremely hard. I'm still in shock, to be honest. I mean, I'm numb. So it really hasn't hit me. And I don't believe any parent should ever have to bury their child. And I pray that, maybe there's changes made as far as security or things like that. And maybe we can learn from this and try to turn a tragedy into something positive to make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else's child. I don't want parents to feel like I feel today. So I've already forgiven the person who stabbed him. God's going to take care of everything. God's taking care of my son. I kissed him when I kissed him goodbye for the last time. I told him it's not goodbye. It's see you later. So I just have to trust in God and my faith to pull us through. I don't understand his plan. We're all subject to trial and tribulations. God didn't say life was going to be fair or wasn't going to be hard, but he said he'll always be beside you and never leave your side. So we're going to lean deep into our faith. There's a vigil tonight at our church at 7 o'clock. I will be attending also. The outpouring of students and coaches, and friends and family that showed up at the hospital immediately. It was just shows the way my son touched people's lives. He was voted team MVP of the football team this year. He carried a 4.0. He was National Honor Society. He's ranked in the top 50 of the state in his position. He's having D1 colleges contact him. He had a great life ahead of him. And to be taken away, it's such a tragedy. I mean, I can't even tell you how I feel because I don't know how I feel. I feel numb at the moment. I just hope that this doesn't happen to any other parent and their child. But I do hope for justice. Because this is unacceptable.
And the fact that, someone was immediately taken into custody, they know who did this, they are charging him with murder. I mean, how does that make you feel that police immediately got this person?
First of all, I feel sorry for that individual because he's now made a mistake that's going to cost him the rest of his life. The hard part that cost me is I lost my son, and his brother was holding him, trying to hold the blood in, and he passed. My son watched his brother die in his arms. I need a break. So concerned about my son. They were twins.
And I'll tell y'all this, man, that's some real emotion compared to what I saw from the mother earlier. Those are real tears. And you can tell that he's holding back a lot that he actually wants to say because he just lost his son. Regardless of what the situation is, that's a father that lost his son. People need to really understand that emotion. Like, whether your kid's right in the right or in the wrong in this situation, that's a parent losing a kid. He said it earlier in his conversation, his interview. No parent should have to bury their kids. I agree with that statement. But there are a lot of circumstances in this life that might take your kids away from you, whether it's your kid's fault or whether it's somebody else's fault. That's the question that we're going to be deliberating tonight. But Miss Jackson, anything on this before I keep playing?
Okay, I had to unmute myself. Yeah, no, man, it's just the father is just real sincere and genuine, about how much of a tragedy it is. And of course, how it personally affected him. That was his child, that was his son, and expressing his emotions about it. And he does have his other son, Hunter, left, who's his twin. And basically, he just kept it a buck and said that he believes in God and he putting his faith in God. And the judicial system, that he's saying the young fella, Karmelo, will have to pay for this mistake that he's made for the rest of his life. So he just, like you said, is genuine, sincere emotions. He's not attacking anybody. He's not judging anybody. He's not talking about who was right or who was wrong. He's just talking about how it was an unnecessary, tragic mistake and how it's affected everybody.
I agree. Let's keep rocking.
Identical. They had each other's back. They were fine. Yeah. Just told me, I can't make it. I can't make it without him. I said, we're going to have to go. We're going to have to. He would want us to be strong.
Can you tell me a little bit more about Austin, about his personality?
Austin was a leader. He led the football team. He was voted team MVP by his players and coaches. He played linebacker. Him and his brother both play linebackers. He played inside. His brother plays outside. We were so fortunate this past weekend that me, Hunter, and Austin, we grew up hunting together, and we had as a matter of fact, the ranch we own, the lease was not renewed, so we could never hunt there again. And we went there for the last weekend. And he said, Dad, I've never shot a pig before. I want to get a pig this weekend. I said, okay. Lord and behold, it's a heck of a story, but he shot his first pig this weekend. And we've all talked, me, him, and Hunter both. We all talked about these are memories that you take forever. After I'm gone, you can tell your kids about well, your grandfather and we were hunting and we stalked and it took 2 hours, but we got this. I got my first pig, and he was so excited. And I'm so fortunate to be able to spend that weekend, not knowing it was the last weekend I'll ever spend with him.
And he also was on the track and field team.
And I want y'all to understand something, because the Anthony family got attacked for him coming from a single family household. When he just said he was lucky that he got to spend that weekend, he has visitation with his sons, because his kids came from a single parent household. Him and that wife ain't together. Y'all notice that it was 2 different press conferences? Well, 2 different interviews. If they were married and together, they would have been there together doing the interview. It's 2 different interviews. They're interviewing the father now. They interviewed the mother and the son. He doesn't even have his kids with him. But that was one of the negatives they tried to throw on Karmelo. Pay attention to people projecting their own insecurities on the other people. You come from a single family household. No, you do. All the problems that they say come from that shit. I just want people to make sure look, just pay attention. Just pay fucking attention. Because I know a lot of people think like, oh, he came from this good family and they're all together, a loving mother, a loving father, they're a happy family and all that. That's not the case. His father's he just slipped when he said that. They come from two different households. The mother has the kids. He gets to visit his sons. And he was lucky that he had that weekend with his son. I'm letting him keep going though, my bad.
Also football was his pride and joy. He was working on track to increase his speed. Matter of fact, he's already dropped this 40 times. He was telling me about how he's dropped it. He's going to drop it some more. And he was an amazing, dedicated athlete. And by the outpouring of his friends and family that showed up immediately at the hospital, it goes to show how he impacted other people's lives.
What did that mean to you to know that your son did that?
Well, for me, I was diagnosed with cancer 9 years ago, and I was not supposed to live. And God blessed me because he knew I needed to be a father for these 2 boys. My 2 boys is what my life lived. I lived my life for my children. That was my why to keep fighting. And I'm cancer free. So God had a plan for me. So I was able to watch and be blessed so much to having both my sons are amazing. My other son is just crushed. And I feel for him now, and he'll never be the same. None of us will. Grief, we all go through it, but the thing about grief is you don't get over it. You just learn to live with it. So, I don't have a choice other than carry on. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure Austin's never forgotten. I'm sure he won't be. He's touched a lot of people's lives. He was a great individual, a leader, an athlete, very smart, 4.0. I couldn't ask for a better son. 2 of them. I couldn't ask. They were my whole life. And for it to be taken away so senselessly, when this guy was just sitting in Ron's spot and they asked him to move, and he winds up stabbing my son in the heart and killing him. It's unfortunate, but he's gonna have to answer for those consequences. And
Yeah.
I hope justice is served.
Yeah. Is that, and I know Hunter probably, everything happened so quickly. I mean, is that what he kind of told you what happened? Did you know Austin to have any enemies? Did Austin know this person?
No, they have no contact with this person ever before. I can tell you what happened. I know firsthand. I wasn't there, but I talked to my son, and everything. I know exactly how it all transpired. It was multi-Frisco High School track meet. Many high schools were there. It started to rain, and they have their own little tent for memorial, and they were sitting there, and someone was behind them mouthing off, and he turned around and said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm Mello." He said, "Well, you don't belong here. You don't go to memorial. You had a Centennial tracksuit on." And he said, "You need to leave. This ain't your spot." And some words were discussed. I'm not going to say on camera but he asked him to leave and basically said, "Make me." And then he wound up stabbing him in the heart and killing him. All over someone sitting in the wrong spot at a track meet.
I believe the father that's the story that he got from his son. I believe him. I truly believe him. Because why would anybody tell you the fucked up shit that they did that caused the situation to happen? Because y'all heard what he said, and y'all gonna hear the news reports. He said his son told him they were sitting in the tent, and they looked behind them and happened to see that Karmelo was just happened to be there. And they noticed that he wasn't from the school, and they told him he needed to leave. That's what his son, the one that's still living, told him. Not one news report has ever reported that. Not one police report has reported that. But that's what his son told him. So if you're starting off the lie from the get-go, it's making me really, truly wonder what the true story actually is. Miss Jackson, what you got on this? And I see Miss Clicks and Views up in here. She said no self-control. Get your ass up on the panel, girl.
Yeah, I think you be having to mute me.
Yeah, I do, because it be echoing.
Right. But well, I noticed one thing he pointed out and said that Hunter told him, his other son that's still here, that Karmelo, when it started raining, everybody ran up under their tent. And Karmelo just ran up under their tent, ran up in their tent and so when Austin asked him to leave and go to his own tent, said Karmelo just started talking trash. She just started talking shit. So I peeped that, that's what Hunter told him. Like you said, what his son told him that happened, And so you just trying to say that, Karmelo just started talking shit to the dude out the blue, and they got into it, got to arguing, some words were exchanged, like he said that he was not going to say on camera, and it led up to this physical altercation or violent deletion. So I mean, it's just something is off, and it don't make sense. Because why would Karmelo run up in there just talking shit to the dude like that, just talking trash to him, and then all of a sudden, Austin comes out the blue and just asks him to leave? So I'm like you. That's just what his son. He believed in what his son Hunter told him.
I agree.
What he say went down.
Yeah, that's what he said. Red said, got Red Illusion, and he said should have been a high school tussle. Should have been a high school tussle. I got you. Yeah, it should have just been a fight. It shouldn't have been no stabbing going on. I think we all can agree on that. And that's why I said what I said, man. Prayers to this man's family. Over this small situation, the kid shouldn't have lost his life. I can say that sitting here, standing all day, and not feel no type of way about it. But I also have to understand in society that people need to have the right to defend themselves. In the way that he just said his son portrayed the incident to him was that it was just some words said, and this kid just upped and stabbed him. But the police report says there was some sort of fight. And even the father, the first time when he gave his opinion on this about what happened, he said it was a fight. But now he's saying that it was just an argument. Look, it's a fucked up situation. It's a fucked up situation. Clicks and Views said that doesn't matter. What triggered in Karmelo to push him to such a violent act. Okay, I got you. I see what side click on. But either way though,
I want to say, we need to bring the full circle legally, whether it was a verbal altercation or a physical altercation, whether they just got to arguing, you know what I'm saying, or whether it was a fist fight, that it was a physical altercation. That plays a big difference in the court of law, whether they will determine is, self-defense or premeditated.
Yeah, and Red said fight can be verbal, body language, confrontation. No, Red, when they say fight on the news, that means it's a physical altercation. I understand that you want to try to pull up the definition of shit, but that doesn't that's not applying to the situation. Even Karmelo said that he put his hands on him. Nobody disagrees with that. It wasn't just no verbal shit, and he just stabbed the kid. And that's why I was saying something about what the father just said. That's not the case. That's one thing that you can X off the board of possibly happening. That didn't happen. It wasn't just no talking, and he stabbed him. We know that for a fact right now. But either way, though, let's keep going.
Now, I don't blame his parents. I don't blame him. But they all will suffer too. I feel for their family, because now their son will probably wind up in prison and learn that he killed someone, and he devastated and took my son that I can never get back. It's unfortunate for everyone involved, and I just hope it doesn't happen to anyone else. This world, there need to be changes, and it starts at home. So I don't know. I'm not judging. I'm just having to say that try to be kind in this world. And if you can't be kind, find someone who is.
Oh my gosh, Jeff. I mean, is there anything else that you want people to know about Austin? If you want people to know how he'll be remembered, is there anything else that you haven't shared?
I mean, it's hard right now. My thoughts are all over the place, to be honest. I mean, there's so many great things about him. I could probably sit here for 3 hours and go on and on and on. But he was a great friend. He was a leader. He was well respected in school by his teammates, by his coaches, by his friends. His girlfriend came up to me and said, you know what? He talks about you a lot, and he loved you, and he treated me with great respect. And he goes, you taught him that. You know? He was going to turn out to be a great individual and impact this world with positivity. So he was on the right track. He was doing everything right. I was so proud to have 2 sons, not just him, but 2 sons that do the exact same thing. My other son, Hunter's like, Dad, I can't go on because Austin always had my back. I said, I know. And when I kissed his forehead today, as his body was cold, I ran my fingers through his hair. I told him, it's not goodbye. It's see you later. I'll join you at some point too, son. You just beat me to this place. So you keep an eye on me up there. Put in good work for me. We'll meet again. Yep. It's the only thing that's keeping me together. Otherwise, I'd be in a rubber room right now. So all I can do is pray. I don't understand it, but I have to live through it. And I have to still be here for my other son. So my journey's not done. It just took a really bad detour today that I'll probably never get over. I'll live with it the rest of my life. And I sure as hell don't want any other parent to feel the way that I feel today. Because when I got the call, I was scared, but I was hoping like he stabbed in the stomach. It's not gonna be that big a deal, surgery, as long as he's okay. When I saw him, I knew it wasn't good. And then when his brother told me, Dad, I tried to hold the wound to the blood, but there was too much. And he died in my arms. It's tragic. I don't know what else to really say.
How can the community best help you right now? Help you and your family right now? Is it thoughts and prayers? Is there a GoFundMe? How can they help you?
I hadn't even thought about that. That's a good idea. GoFundMe. I'll probably have someone set that up. And prayers. I believe I'm heavy in faith, and we just pray that this doesn't happen again to someone else. Unfortunately, I get to be the example. But we have to try to turn negatives into positives. And he was a great kid, and he impacted a lot of lives. I'll never forget him, and neither will a lot of other people. So, community-wise, talk to your kids, teach your kids. It all starts at home. I know this world has changed. I'm old school. It's a different world. It's unfortunate, but we all have to evolve. And if we all don't come together, black, white, yellow, brown, I don't care. It's all about human beings. We gotta care about each other. We gotta be kind to each other. You need to show compassion, show empathy, not anger, not rage. Teach your kids the right from wrong. And pray to God this doesn't happen to yours.
No. Do you have any questions for John? Jeff, anything else you'd like to share?
No, I just pray for my family right now in this time. It's a very tough time. I'm not sure how we will get through it, but I know God will get us through it.
All right, and that's the father. That's the father of the young man who got stabbed, who's no longer here. Ms. Jackson, man, go ahead and give me your thoughts real quick, like on the final things that he said before we go to the next video.
It's a different world than where we come from. Hey, I know back in my generation and the generation before me, if people, bumped heads, I had a disagreement, or if things got heated, we just fought that shit out and let the best man win. Nowadays, these new generation, they picking up weapons and shit, especially the guys. Females are more apt to fight, I will say that. But, man, these dudes just shooting each other up and shooting each other down. And then what makes it so bad is black on black crime. We already have other obstacles against us as African Americans. Then we send back deleting each other, hurting each other, hate crimes against each other. And until we can first learn how to stand in unity and empower amongst ourselves, then we can't even consider worrying about a different race our, others to respect us and treat us with equality, and we all stand in unity. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's sad, but it's true. And unfortunately, the truth hurts. Reality is ugly. And until we learn to face that reality, there will be no change. There will be no transition. We have to learn to accept, face reality, admit that there's a problem, and then learn to address that problem in order to solve it or have that change or transition that we need. So unfortunately, it's just a different world than where we come from, man. And the father just kept it real. He spoke from his heart. And, again, he didn't attack anyone. He didn't judge anyone or put the blame on anyone. He spoke as a parent. And, at the end of the day, he's just going to let the law do their job.
I agree with that. I saw that Red, you left this comment. You said father is clearly at risk of psychotic break, handling it well. I agree with that. Any father that loses their son, I wouldn't be surprised if they went out and did something crazy, and I wouldn't put too much on them about it, to be honest with you. Like, if somebody took your child away and you went and took that person out or took out somebody in the process of trying to take them out, I would have a little bit more leniency on you than I would on somebody that just went out and just did something to somebody because, they just a criminal, right? But I can see how he could do. That's hard to bear. And I feel that man pain. I really feel that man pain the way he talking, because that is his son. Regardless of whether his son was in the right or in the wrong, I feel his pain. Now, I have my opinion about which side of that right and wrong his son was on, but I feel his pain because no parent wants to bury their child. And he already probably wasn't even getting enough time to spend with him. He was probably just getting weekend visitation. So, yeah, he probably cared a lot about his son. And then he said, didn't even think about a GoFundMe. Interesting. Supposedly he didn't think about a GoFundMe, but he did say he'll find somebody to set it up for him. I know what that was. I know what that was, but I'm not even going to jump into that one. I know what that was. But I want to show you why I have respect for this father, because there are a lot of people in society that want to keep playing that race game and making everything a race thing. And the sad part is it's the same people that tell other people they're race baiting. They tell everybody else when they speak out about racial issues in society that they're the race baiters, but these are actually the true race baiters. And his father had some nice, kind words for one of y'all race baiters. And this guy knows who he is. But I know there's a lot of people like him. And I want you to listen to the words of his father and take it to heart. Because this little game that y'all want to play, because y'all just straight up racist, y'all need to listen to what this father said, because he actually lost somebody. Y'all motherfuckers ain't lost shit, and you already running off at the mouth. I want y'all to hear this shit. They had a Protect White Lives or some shit type rally where like 18 people showed up or some shit. And this guy don't even know the man. He doesn't know the child. He doesn't know anybody. And he decided to hold this rally where nobody showed up. He's gonna have a conversation with the father, and I want y'all to hear him. This black guy's gonna facilitate the call for him. Check it out real quick, like.
So Jeff, this is not a good fake discussion. Okay, hold on. Here's Jeff. Hold on. So Jeff, go ahead. Jake.
Hey Jeff,
This is the father. Jeff is the father that's on the phone.
Jake Lang here. Jeff, first of all, my entire heart rests in your hands. I would be in my position, not even somebody even knew your son, but somebody that shares the same understanding. I grew up as a 17-year-old young white man too, and I grew up in fear of my life around black people because they were killing and robbing people around me all the time. And I don't understand, as I was a father, you could sit idly by and not condemn the culture that killed your son. There is an epidemic problem in this country, and your voice could be one of the loudest voices in this country, but you've chosen to recoil out of fear and continue the suppression. Why will you not stand with me and with the rest of the people? We're not calling for racial divide. We're not calling for hatred. We're saying 350,000 attacks on white people by black people a year in this country is wrong. Why can't you stand that and say with that? Maybe you can. would you be willing to stand by me in a press conference or in an individual interview and talk about this issue that is larger than Austin at this point? God rest the beautiful young man's soul that would have been one of our strongest voices if he was still alive today.
Hey, y'all heard what this man said. This father just lost his kid. And he came in here and just said that bullshit. Ms. Jackson, give me your thoughts on what this guy just said. Because you about to hear the words of the father. You have to unmute yourself again. But you're going to have to, this man just lost his son. And you come in here with this race baiting shit. Give me your thoughts.
Now, is he supposed to be, what is his position? Is he an attorney or?
No. He's a January 6th rioter.
Okay. Well, that goes to show you all he gives a damn about. Is Donald Trump in office and all he give a damn about is green, $1. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, first of all, can't nobody imagine what this man is going through. If you're not a parent and you have not lost a child, you don't know. We can't feel his pain. We don't know what he's going through. We can say our heart goes out to him. I can only imagine. But that you have no clue what this man is going through. So he's just talking out the side of his neck. And anybody else, as far as that goes, it's a tragic case at the end of the day. And it's very senseless because what could have been so serious for, even Karmelo to feel the need to pull out a weapon at the end of the day? Man, let the best man win in reality. That's the reason that reverts back to my last speech to say it's a different world than where I come from. Our generation, we just, what I'm saying? We just squash that out and let the best man win. But, people are so easy and insensitive to life to just easily, want to take life. And you don't have that right of possession. You didn't give life. You don't have a right to take it. So he ain't talking about nothing. He's just trying to be seen, and blow up the hype. That's how I feel about it.
I agree. I think this guy right here is the people that they need to call race baiters. I think this guy's a piece of fucking shit. Maybe he should have been on the other end of that knife. Just saying. But I want y'all to hear what Austin's father had to say back to him after he said that shit. Because he told this man he was being weak about not jumping on this racial argument. And shout out to Shicey. She said, seen her up in here. She said, lady, you can't go around assaulting people, then tell them how to respond. I agree with that. I think we agree with that. It said what? I guess you talking to you. I don't fucking know. But yeah, I agree with that statement. You can't go around putting your hands on people and then get mad about how they respond to you putting their hands on you. I'm a firm believer in that. I'm a firm believer in that. But listen to what the father said back to him.
Yes, I am, sir. That's called white guilt. No, let it talk. You're creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness, sir. You are creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness.
You are being weak. I gotta be honest with you about that, sir.
You're being weak. Condemn your.
Hold on. Dude, what the fuck did that motherfucker? Hold up. Let me go back a second.
Creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness, sir. You are creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness.
You are being weak. I gotta be honest with you about that, sir.
You're being weak.
Black man here. Black man here.
You need to leave. It's disgusting.
Get the fuck out the conversation, bitch. Fuck you talking about black man here.
Hey, I see what's going on. So he trying to say he's weak because he's not holding hate in his heart. But if you know anything about, that man saying he has faith, strong, firm faith in God. And you will know that you don't defeat hate with hate. You don't fight fire with fire. You overcome evil with good. So all he's trying to do is boost him up to stoop to Karmelo's level, if that's how he feels that, Karmelo did a a dirty deed by taking his life if that's how he views the situation and hold hate in his heart. Well, that ain't gonna bring your boy back. It still ain't gonna bring your son back when you get through. So I mean, yeah, it's just, he on some racism shit. I mean, he gotta be if he stand up for Donald Trump.
Shit crazy, man. I'm gonna let him keep going though. That black dude needs to shut the fuck up.
Condemn your son's killer and the culture that caused it.
Hey, Jeff.
That's the problem. You've been submitted.
Hold on, Jeff.
You've been submitted.
I'll handle it from here.
You've been submitted, sir. You're not gonna make. If we were all of your nature,
guys, listen.
you're not gonna say
Do you know who you're talking to? You don't, do you?
He told this father he has been submitted. Submitted to what? That's my question. They always say that when an incident happens where a cop shoots a black kid or some shit like, you know, Ahmaud Arbery, you know, all them black folks come out saying it's racial stuff. They're making it racist. What the fuck is this? A white kid life got taken by a black kid. What's the first? This motherfucker held a rally, put this man's son on his website, and then talked down to the father because the father didn't want to make it a racial issue. The father had to tell him, you take my son's face off your website. This is a dude that stormed the Capitol, beat police. I really wish I could show y'all this picture of this guy. This dude came out there with a shield, a helmet, and a bat. One of them little girl bats.
But hey, I was hoping you would finish showing the clip because I was trying to see what the black dude was talking about.
I ain't finna cover him. They just started. He started trying to argue with him and started getting racist with him. I wasn't even finna show that part.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's besides the point of what I'm trying to get to tonight. But yeah, if y'all want to, I'll drop the link of that video down below, and y'all can go watch that shit later if you want to. But Sexy said, "Where has forgiving and forgetting got you niggas protesting, marching? Why your people are lying dead in the streets?" Shiesty getting crunk with it.
Shiesty, come on up on the panel and express your opinion or your facts. Come on up on the channel and say why your point is a fact, and that's the correct way to handle nonsense, to stoop to their dumbass level. So that's what I challenge you to do.
Shiesty ain't gonna come up there.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Shiesty just gonna keep talking in the chat. But look, I feel her point of view. Oh, she was talking to you earlier. She said that's a comment for you. She said you're weak-minded. I'll let you get a response to her real quick, like before I go to the next thing.
Keep on going, Jay. Keep on going. I don't entertain nonsense.
All right. I want people to understand something. Like this situation is an issue. It's an issue, and it shouldn't have happened, man. It shouldn't have happened. It would have been good if you know, the situation never even transpired, man. Like honestly, if you put it like that, like there should be no life lost in this situation. But
correct. I mean, it's really sad. You know, these are children. 17 years old, they little children. They had a whole future ahead of them. And all this is because they got into it about who knows. The truth is, he say, she say, you know, who knows what the real issue was about. But whatever it wasn't that serious. Again, I'm speaking from all aspects because, you know, people have different point of views. And legally, we have to get down to the bottom of, was there a physical altercation? And if it was a fight, Karmelo said they got the fist fighting. Well, we need more proof in the pudding. We need more receipts to show that there was a physical fist fight, number one. Or was it just a verbal altercation? Now, let's just start step by step. Oh, girl, that's common sense. Let's start step by step. Was it a physical fight? Or was it a verbal altercation? Verbal means words, okay? Now, that's just the basics. Now, even if it got physical, legally, Karmelo said that on his statement, but legally that hasn't been, you know, valid, proven that that's what took place. But Either way it goes, again, I'm a stay firm because I'm a leader and I'm very strong-minded. And a strong man stand alone. I don't need no amen, no cheerleaders, or none of that shit. The truth will prevail. At the end of the day, I say it's a different world than where I come from. I don't know where the hell you come from, but let the strong man win. Let the best man win. Fight that shit out and be through with it. But guess what? Everybody gonna live to go home. They're gonna go home to their family. They're gonna wake up to see another day. So you tell me how that make it make sense. You tell me how that make it make sense, girl. Whoever you is throwing in your 2 cents. But I'm just telling you that it was nothing that serious. I don't care what Austin brother Hunter says happened, and I don't care what Karmelo says that happened. It was nothing that serious for someone to lose their life as a child. They are children, and no parent should have to bury their child. Period. Point blank. Period. So at the end of the day, the case is going is being investigated, and the trial is going pop off here soon, and we'll see what the end going to be, what the results is going to be. But it's just very unfortunate.
I'm gonna let you get that last one off real quick. Like she said, you weren't there, sweetheart. I'm gonna let you get that one. Let me reread comment too. And I want you to unmute yourself after because I was getting an echo. He said every day feels more and more like an episode of Boondocks. And then Shicey came back in. 2 twins attacked me, and they're getting packed. Okay. Go ahead. Unmute yourself. Matter of fact, I can hit it. Go ahead.
Okay, so where's the receipts to show that 2 twins attacked him? That's my point. Let's look at it from a logical perspective. Where's the proof to show that them 2 boys physically jumped him? Now you come up on the panel and show it to us. I'd be glad to see it. And then you wasn't there either, sweetheart. So that's the point. Use your common sense. We don't know what happened. Okay, because nothing has been set in stone. We know a little bit of Karmelo's statement, and that's basically all that the press done pretty much put it out there at this point. So let's just learn the facts first before you judge an opinion.
Look, I think where she's leaning right now is that it's very possible that them 2 twins actually tried to jump him, and that's why he stabbed him. I think y'all both just switch sides on y'all arguments like this real quick. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
Well, you remember I was saying earlier, Jay, that I've heard all different kind of things, different stories, and I originally heard that it was some past, drama and back and forth and beef going on between them.
Yeah, that's not true.
And that's the reason why he felt the need to go to practice strapped up. You see what I'm saying? It's all kind of shit been said. You go say or whatever. But again, receipts is the only thing that's going to stand. We got to wait and find out the facts. That's just the point I'm stressing.
I be wondering where the hell y'all be hearing that shit from?
Man, people gonna talk.
On TikTok. She's like, God damn.
People are gonna run their mouth and make up shit, and he say, she say. By the time it get down back to us, it's a whole different story.
I ain't gonna hold you on it. Look, just real quick. Red, don't feel bad. She came around to the right side. I think. I don't know if she did or not. Came to Shiesty, but from what we know right now, man, there was an altercation. Something happened. From what the police told us, there was a fight, and a young man lost his life. I feel for the father once again. I feel his pain. I feel his pain. I know how it is to see somebody that you care about not be here no more. Especially, it's on a whole nother level when it's your child. So I can't fault him for that. And I'm glad that they didn't cover a lot of the mother's interview because the mother just pretty much just tried to put the blame on everybody else. The father was actually being reasonable about the situation because honestly, he don't fucking know. He said all he knows is what his other son told him. And if his son went in there, both of them went in there trying to start some shit, that ain't something they gonna tell their father. Yeah, we went over here and tried to fuck this black kid up and he ended up stabbing my brother and he died. He ain't finna tell you that shit. That's not something he gonna tell you. But throughout the investigation, because there were a lot of children there, even though it was raining, there were children underneath that tent. We're gonna get the actual true story of it. And it's crazy to see that you don't have any video of it. And I'm just gonna say this. I already saw that there were already some little threats put on the internet that if any of those kids out there released the video of what actually transpired, because supposedly there is video, they said that they were gonna ruin their families' lives. So we're gonna see how this trial plays out. Anthony family, he posted bond. There was a GoFundMe out there. Well, Give Sing Go. That's the one that everybody likes to use now. And they raised enough money. He got out on bond. He had $1 million bond, so he had to post $100,000. Got to get that 10%. But he's out. He's like, he got an ankle monitor and shit like that. And we're gonna have this trial, y'all. We're gonna have this trial. And we're gonna find out what happened. But I will say this to the people that are so quick to tell everybody else what they should and shouldn't do. A lot of folks, every time there was a shooting with cops and a black person happened to be the victim of it, you could tell the black community, don't be quick to judge. I'll turn that right back around to the white community, because y'all were the ones who were saying it. How about y'all fucking take your own goddamn advice? Because this kid has been called everything but a child of God. His family has been thrown through the mud. They're saying that they're buying houses and cars and all this shit. Anything negative to say. But when we call out a cop, when we actually see a video of them shooting somebody in the back, you tell us to wait for more evidence. But you don't even know what the fuck happened in this situation from what we have in the reports, and you're ready to condemn somebody. I want y'all to slow your roll. I understand that y'all got a little hate in your heart because you don't know your history and you think everybody's just picking on you, even though you don't know your own people run this shit. Slow down. Hold your horses. Hold your horses real quick, because there's a lot of things that actually you probably don't know happened, and you might be surprised when trial comes out. But actually, to that point, though, and let me read Shicey's comment real quick. She said, I seen Karmelo dad's friend in TikTok telling the story. Okay, I got you, girl. There's been a lot of people talking about actually what transpired that day, eyewitnesses on different social media shit. The question is, do we know if that's truly them or not? But we've heard stories. But for all the people that have all these, and I'm going to say this really, really, really quickly. For all these white folks that have all this outrage, like, how dare this? This is the black community and all this shit. I want y'all to watch this real quick. Because, this Karmelo Anthony situation happened in Texas. Karmelo stabbed another student. Black kid stabbed a white kid. All this outrage. I just got one question. What was the outrage for this?
Well, we want to bring you some breaking news. Right now, a jury has just returned a verdict in the trial of Kason Allison.
Yes, we just found out that Allison is guilty of a criminally negligent homicide in the stabbing death of his Belton High School classmate, Joe Ramirez, back in 2022. We want to send this straight over to a 6 News reporter, Sydney Walker. Sydney, we know you've been following this from the very beginning. First question I want to ask is, emotions in the courtroom, how were those?
Yeah, emotions were very high. That can be expected. It's been a long couple of days. Yesterday, we were here over 10 hours. 12 hours, probably the whole day from 9 a.m. if you're including that. So people are tired. They were ready for a verdict. People ran into the courtroom as soon as we heard there was a verdict. People were running to the front to grab tissues. There was shaking. There was crying on both sides just out of anticipation. And once that verdict was read, there were sighs of relief, audible sighs of relief from Allison's side, and tears and shaking from the side of Joe Ramirez. There's a lot of high emotions all around. So absolutely a very emotional case. I know some people, this was not the verdict they were hoping for. Others, they're just happy to have some sort of something against Allison. There's a lot of emotions in this case.
Okay, thank you, Sydney. Now, we do know, this verdict is kind of coming to us late. We have been waiting for almost, 2 days now. Do you have any idea what took so long?
Right. Well, so in this case, they had to first consider murder, or self-defense or neither of those, then continue to go down into manslaughter or self-defense or neither of those. And then the last one was what he was charged with, criminally negligent homicide or not guilty on that. So there were a lot of layers to this. And in my opinion, I think that that is what ended up taking them so long, because they had to go through each charge, which takes time. They had to review all of the evidence, make sure that they were considering everything. They had the opportunity to review testimony from the court reporter. There was a lot that had to be discussed. And, we got back today. They might have just wanted to sleep on it last night. We got back today, and then we had a verdict by 10:45 a.m., not too long after we got here, about 2 hours-ish after we got here. So most of the discussions were occurring yesterday, but yeah, they had to go through quite a few charges to get to where we were today.
All right, thank you so much, Sydney. I want to point this out real quick while we still have our viewers. I know that a manslaughter charge carried up to a 2 to 20-year sentence. You mentioned how Ramirez's side was crying. Meanwhile, Allison's side was doing a sigh of relief, because we know that the charge that he was charged with is a lesser charge. It means that carelessness led to an act of death, which could mean up to 10 years in prison or no prison time at all. So that's kind of why you're getting those reactions. I do want to ask, however, did you get to see Case in Allison's face, and what was his face looking like whenever that verdict was read?
Well, in typical fashion, Allison was pretty quiet. He was standing up. The defense was standing up while they received the news from the jury. We didn't really hear or a peep from him, really get a reaction from him. It's kind of been that way throughout this whole case. He's been pretty stone-faced, pretty quiet, as well as his family side has been pretty quiet. But today we heard a rare sound from his side, sighs of relief after they heard their son would not be going to jail for life in prison at least. But, we still don't know. That sentencing is not going to be until July. So we have some time until we figure that out.
And just another question for you, Sydney. The jury, talk about their emotions. Were you able to read any of their expressions on their face, or how were they during the trial and today?
I'm gonna skip ahead real quick, because they need to tell exactly what happened.
A trial, and I know people.
Attorney is going to
room now. As you can see, emotions very.
All right, here you go. We gonna come back full screen real quick, for a second, because they just, I need y'all to just tell them what the hell happened. This don't even make no sense. So I'm gonna show this like this. Here we go. Fuck. I don't know why the fuck they did all that goddamn talking. But either way, y'all, one more time.
Our top story tonight, new developments are being revealed in the Case in Allison murder trial. Allison is accused of fatally stabbing fellow Belton High School student Joe Ramirez. 6 News reporter Sydney Walker was back in the courthouse today. And Sydney, what happened?
There was a lot of discussion today about Allison's past actions, his overall character, and even a past threat that was made. A close friend of Allison and an ex-girlfriend of Joe Ramirez actually testified today, saying that she had heard Allison tell her directly a threat towards Joe Ramirez. Texts between Allison and a close friend were shared today. In discussing this, Allison texts, "Bro, bring me a gun," and calls Joe broke, saying he'll have to walk to their fight. Allison's close friend and Ramirez's old girlfriend said in that threat that Allison planned to fight Ramirez and said, quote, "He wanted Joe on life support and wanted to stomp his head in." Belton investigator Robert Preston was on the stand for most of the day, and he shared a Snapchat audio recording in which Allison can be heard calling Ramirez names and saying he wanted to, quote, "send him to the hospital." In cross-examination, the defense tried to discredit the investigators' and overall investigation, asking why he didn't review certain security videos or obtain witnesses' phones when the school was on lockdown. Lastly, another detective, Robert Gatewood, shared an audio recording from when he arrested Allison at his home. Allison can be heard asking someone to come get him and take him to Waco during this arrest when he says, quote, "I was just trying to protect myself." The defense revealed that Allison had thrown up during his questioning after he saw his knife and was later determined to have a closed head injury. More witnesses are expected to take the stand tomorrow as this trial continues at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Live in Belton, Sydney Walker, 6 News.
All right, thanks.
All right, so y'all kind of got a little gist. There were 2 kids in Texas, because the Karmelo Anthony shit happened in Texas. This happened a couple years earlier. There was a white kid and a Hispanic kid that were beefing. They were beefing. They met up in a bathroom in school to fight. And the white kid pulled out a knife and stabbed the Hispanic kid 4 fucking times and deleted him. He killed him. And he was found of negligent homicide. Now think about this, y'all. I want y'all to understand this, because there's not been no white outrage about who raised them. They're a thug or nothing like this. You went to a fist fight and stabbed somebody. All right? Something you knew you were walking into. So carrying a knife in there would be, what would you call it, Ms. Jackson? Premeditated? I think that's the word that they wanted to go with. Because, you said the same thing about Karmelo. Well, why would you bring a knife to a track meet? Why would you bring a knife to a fist fight? That same type, those same people found that this kid was only guilty of negligent homicide. This kid could get probation. He stabbed a kid 4 times. Karmelo stabbed somebody once. This kid made threats on his phone that he wanted to send him to the hospital, wanted to stomp his head in. Negligent homicide. But a kid that don't even know another kid. Don't even know another kid. Never made no threat to him, never knew it was any beef or nothing. Something just happened to happen at a track meet. And y'all want to give this kid a death penalty. Where's the outrage for that Hispanic family that lost their child? When this kid who threatened to put him in the grave already multiple times, stabbed him 4 times. But y'all want to put this young black man, you want to throw the book at him. Somebody make it make sense to me. Because I wanted to throw that at the end. Because I'm like, it makes no sense. Your logic is not logicking. You sound like a hypocrite. You sound like a hypocrite when you defend that shit. If you have that energy and that veracity for Karmelo Anthony, you should have had that same energy for Carson Allison. You should have had it for him. But I didn't hear a fucking word. I ain't hear a word. And I saw it on the news. But keep going. Go ahead, Miss Jackson. Go ahead. I'm gonna look at some of these comments real quick. Like, see, Shicey said those twins have pictures with guns as well. Yeah, they damn sure do. Good job, Shicey, on that. They do. She also said those likely weren't gang signs. That's just how young people pose. And then Red said hunting and military pictures are a lot different than SoundCloud rapper pictures. Red, they weren't in military clothes. They were in hunting clothes. And then Shicey said red, same-ish guns. There you go. But go ahead. And then hold on real quick. Shicey said red, that's you being prejudiced. Okay. Go ahead, Jackson.
But you hit on the head. You know, pretty much why would this young fella who has made threats in the pattern in a cycle or a history of him being violent or have the potential to be violent, and it's targeted a certain person to make that person his victim, and then go to school.
You breaking up a little bit. You going in and out.
Can you hear me a little clearer?
Say something again.
Okay, I was saying, can you hear me a little bit clearer?
Yeah, you still breaking up a little bit. Try to read. I don't know. You been there yeah, I'm about to say you've been there the whole time. You just
no. It's the phone, like I told you last night. I had to cool down and start. Like it's running hot, to freeze up or something.
Yeah, you going in and out. You just going in and out. But go ahead, keep going. I'll tell you if it get too bad.
Yeah, I'll probably have to jump off in a few because my phone like start running hot or something. It got cooled down.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, but like I was saying, I'm trying to talk as clear or as close as I can. But there was a history and a pattern of this young man being violent or have the potential to be violent, and pointed out a particular victim to attack, and went to school and committed that act. All right, and pretty much that's legally determined or defined as premeditated, and deleted this person with a violent crime, a vicious crime, right? And had a slap on the wrist with the charge. There was no first degree M charge or no capital M charge. You know, and like Jay said, you know, that you know has the possibility of getting probation or definitely getting released early because of a lesser charge. So that goes to show the hypocrisy in the judicial system. Something definitely needs to be done about it.
I agree with you. Shicey said, well, here you go. When Red said the hunting and military pictures are a lot different than SoundCloud rapper pictures, Shicey responded with saying, Red, same-ish guns. She also said, Red, that's you being prejudiced. Red said N with a question mark, like he don't care. Shicey responded to that and said, it's the racism that suggests that black people with guns are worse than white people with guns. And she also said, look at God. Red's always gonna show his prejudice when it comes to these type of topics. Like, I've grown accustomed to it. I know what side Red's on when it comes to things, and he's always gonna stay on that side. At least he's consistent, at least with that, regardless of whether it's hypocritical or not. But yes, Shiesty, you are correct. People in society view black people with guns completely different than how they view black people with guns. There's been a demonization and a criminalization of black people since they've been in this country. And for the folks that don't know their own history of their own country, I understand you wouldn't understand this. But if you actually decided to look at the evil shit your ancestors did, you would understand why black people are viewed a certain way. You just woke up one day and black people just happen to be bad, huh? You don't know why? It ain't because of what they do, because black people do the same thing white people do. And the sad part, in some cases, they do it less than others. And then on top of that, they do it less than others while they have a magnifying glass on top of their head. Because think about it, police don't patrol y'all neighborhoods, they patrol ours. But we commit crimes at similar rates. Just think about it, if the police didn't patrol over here and they patrolled over there. Who do you think would be committing more crimes? See, people need to really look at their own people. And see, Shiesty said, matter of fact, hold up. Let's see. Red said, look at the numbers too. Yeah, I explained the numbers. Yeah. When you only police one group of people, you only watch one group of people, yeah, you're going to find whatever the fuck you're looking for. Everybody breaks the law. Everybody does. Everybody. Every person watching right now, every person alive right now has broken a law. The only difference is the people who got caught. But when you're watching a certain group of people, you're more likely to catch them more than the people you don't pay attention to. But even when you don't pay attention to these people, their crime is very similar to the people you watching all goddamn day long. So what do you think if you watch them all day long, what would their crime look like? People need to actually start thinking about shit for a little bit. They watch black people nonstop. They patrol our neighborhoods nonstop. You say that's where the crime is. Ain't no crime in the suburbs. Ain't no meth houses in the suburbs. The plug for the city ain't in the suburbs. Bitches ain't getting beat up. Motherfuckers ain't getting raped, deleted in the suburbs. That shit ain't happening. It ain't happening in the trailer park. That shit ain't happening, right? It's just only in the black neighborhood, right? See, you can miss me with that shit. Because when you know people, you know people. When you know people, you know people. I'll put it like that. And see how Red said, at least I'm not a hypocrite. I gave you that. Yeah, at least you're not a hypocrite. You consistently racist. You consistently racist. I just put it like that. You consistently on that bullshit. Shiesty said, at what numbers white men commit 68% of violent crime, I believe. It said, I'm wrong. She said white men commit 78% of crime, violent crime. And then Red said, again, per capita. And Red, you can keep saying per capita. You can keep saying per capita. And Shiesty, good job on researching that for me real quick, like, because it's a narrative that a lot of people keep trying to put out there. Red says per capita, that means, okay, white people, obviously there's more white people in America, so obviously they would commit more crimes. But per capita, black people commit more violent crimes. No, black people are looked at more for committing violent crimes. How many people have been let out of jail or have found out decades later that their family were murdered by white cops in Alabama? Never served a day in jail for the crimes they committed. But people find out about it later. When people are not looking at you, you're not going to get stopped. You're not going to get convicted. You're not going to get processed through the justice system. Like, I don't get how people don't get that. The cops ain't looking at white folks like they're looking at black folks. They're not. They're just not. Am I tripping or am I not tripping? Jackson, are they patrolling through Mountain Brook, Alabama like they patrolling through goddamn West End? Damn, you still breaking up. You might need to put that phone in the freezer. Put it in the freezer. Yeah, jump off and come back. God damn, that shit breaking up real bad. But nah, like real shit, y'all. If they're not looking at you, if you're not looking for something, it's gonna be hard to find it. But when you're looking for something, it's easy to find it. That's just how shit goes, man. White folks always want to know what black folks doing. Cause we popping around here. Y'all ain't really popping around there, man. Just be honest with you. Majority of people ain't fucking with the shit y'all be doing. Let's see, I got Red in the building. This is what's up. Oh, hold on, Red. Show me your face in the background real quick. Like I fucked around and did something stupid. All right, I got you. Let me read your comment first real quick. Like he said, there are more murders for 100,000 black women than there are for white men. And then Shicey said Red has old talking points. He do. But we got Red in the building. What's up, Red? Don't say nothing racist.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
You already know it.
Yeah, I'm Red Illusion. You can find me at Red Illusion. I just dropped a freestyle on YouTube. But it's hard to find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram and Snapchat, Red Z Illusion. And The Red Illusion. That's where I'm selling my art.
All right, well, go ahead and give me your thoughts on it, man. I already know you've been saying stats and shit.
You know, despite what you might think, I actually don't have a dog in this fight. Even though you might think I'm Team White.
You are Team White. Why are you lying?
No, I'm actually not. You know, I agree with you in the sense that this is a tragedy for both parties involved. Honestly, like I think both of these young guys like really got in an unfortunate situation. But that being said, I think objectively you could also say that Karmelo Anthony's defense attorneys are going to have a hard time on this case. Even, because word on the street is the police have surveillance footage of what went down. Now, depending on what you think, what you assume went down, whatever that surveillance footage might prove, I don't think it's enough to exonerate Karmelo.
Hey, look, I would love if they had security footage of it. I would love it because people need to know what happened.
School ground, a track team, a track event. You would think that's what I've heard.
Yeah, but the one thing that's gonna hurt that a little bit if they do, and people, because I'm thinking you leaning like, well, it's gonna show that he did something wrong and he's gonna get fucked up. You know, it was storming out there, raining like a motherfucker. So I don't know what security camera's going to see some shit through some strong rain.
But see, here's the thing, Jay. There was also several tents.
There were several cell phones too that I actually. Look, I told you, I saw where people were threatening these young kids not to release the videos that they had, because you know in high school how these kids are. Something starts to pop off, some words start flying. I mean, their phones already out. It ain't nothing to hit the goddamn record.
Well, I mean, you'd be surprised how quick stuff gets out on like the deep web.
Yeah. Real quick, that's what I'm saying. There's definitely going to be video of it. But what were you saying? You were about to say something else?
I think regardless of what the surveillance video shows, from what we've heard of the 3 credible witnesses so far, the first one was obviously the twin brother who we heard from the day it happened.
That's not credible.
Well, I mean, that's the initial witness testimony.
Yeah. Just get to the other two, because the brother's not going to be credible.
So the other one was credible that a local news agency interviewed, and the other one was a verified person online who saw what went down. Now, judging from this,
I heard a black dude talking about it. I heard a dude out there say he was out there with his kids and he saw it too. So.
Okay,
go ahead, tell me what they said. Tell me what the so-called verified people, because I don't know how you verify somebody. But
you verify by getting like the actual name and information. You're like, oh, this person went to this high school and they were on the track team, and it's like, oh, all right, makes sense.
Right? Guess what? A verified whistleblower.
Yeah, but all that considered, it's still going to be a pain in the ass to prove self-defense, because first of all, you have to get over the hurdle of criminal intent. Because they're throwing him, they're throwing first-degree murder at him.
Yeah. They always do that with black kids.
So
They always do that with black people. Period. They try to hit
well,
us with
I
the
think
hard
you do that
charge.
with anybody who puts a knife in somebody's chest, and
They would
regardless.
have did it regardless. They would have did it regardless. If he hit him in the head with a bat, they would have charged him with first-degree attempted
Well,
murder.
I don't know about all that because I've seen I've seen cases where that's not the case, but it's
Rare ain't
hard
they?
to
Rare ain't
self-defend
they?
a case like this because Carmelo has a lot of criminal intent.
How do you figure?
Well, first of all, he's bringing an illegal knife onto the school grounds. First of all, that's illegal. You're not allowed to have
Okay,
that.
real quick, Red. Did you ever carry a knife to school?
A pocket. Well, not an illegal knife.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Did you ever carry a pocket knife to school?
Yeah, because we used them in.
No. I don't need to know. I
instructional
don't need to know what you use it for because guess what? People don't care what he had a knife
It
for.
was. It was.
You
It was
carried a
clear.
knife before, right?
It was, but it was okay with the school administration because it was for.
Listen, Red. I'm pretty sure you didn't go to the principal or any of your teachers to be like, "Is it okay for me to have this knife?"
Did not stab
You didn't
him
do
with a fucking construction
How do you know
exact.
that? Have you seen the knife?
Because he stabbed his heart, which means that
Dude,
it
how
would
far do you
have
think
been
your heart
at
is from
least-
your goddamn fucking chest?
It's at
How
least
far do you
3
think
inches. It's at least 3 inches.
What knife do you know is smaller than 3 inches? That's a pocket knife.
An X-Acto knife.
Oh my god! So you talking about one of these? You talking about one of these? Talking about one
Yeah,
of these
yeah.
knives?
That's
No,
what we
that
carried
ain't
in
the type of
high
knife they
school.
talking. So this is what you was carrying to school?
Yeah.
Man, get the fuck out of here, Rick.
What is that? What is that? I didn't get a good look
Pocket
at it.
knives. People don't call them bitches pocket knives, bro.
Well,
That's
bro,
a goddamn.
technically it
pocket
wasn't.
knife.
Technically, it was a knife, and I got into some trouble for having it on me because the hall monitor gave me shit about it, and I took it up with the school board, and they're like, "No, this is a certain length. You're allowed to have it."
And I bet money his knife was in the same a 3-inch knife.
No,
is within
absolutely
school
not.
policy.
Absolutely
You're
not.
not allowed to have any
The knife
weapons
was
at
at
school.
least the knife was
So
at least 3-4 inches long, which is not permitted on school grounds because it have to been because
no knife is permitted
Austin
on school
Metcalf is not a
grounds. What are
small
you talking
guy.
about?
He was a big guy. You need like a 3-4 inch blade to puncture the heart.
Look, red. Stop. Just stop that
But
shit.
no, you're not allowed to have a knife on the track. That's full blank stop.
You're not
First of all,
allowed to have a knife on school premises regardless. So when you said the school board told you that it was okay for you to have the knife you had, you know that's bullshit anyways. That's a bold-faced lie.
because it was provided for by the school and it was an X-Acto knife that was used for school purposes, so it was allowed.
Yeah, but
It
you
was
said you got in
I never got in trouble. Somebody tried to get me in trouble. I never got in trouble.
Dude, you're not allowed to have a knife at school, man. You're not allowed to have any weapons. I haven't been to any school where they
An
allow
actual knife, no. Then that's the first. That's the first point of criminal intent. The second point, and this is the big one. This is the big one that's going to get Karmelo in court. Is the fact that after the fact, he fled the scene and got rid of the knife. That's not what an innocent person does.
Dude, he threw the knife in the stands where he stabbed him at.
That's not what an innocent person does.
He stabbed the kid, dropped the knife, and ran. He didn't know if he was gonna get jumped. What are you talking about with an innocent person? So an innocent person gonna stand there
Gonna get jumped. Oh, so now you're assuming. Okay, so now you're assuming his life was in danger.
You're assuming that it wasn't.
Well, no, that's a positive statement. Therefore, the burden of proof is on you.
No, you're trying to shape a narrative that you don't know is true
No,
or not.
you made a positive claim, which was that his life is in danger. You implied it, at least. So I'm asking, what's evidence for that?
He said to the police officer that he was defending himself. That's what he said. It's in the
That's
report.
their fault.
Huh?
So
obviously,
so just because someone says they did something,
he felt the need to defend himself, and this was the level of his defense, then clearly he perceived his life to be in danger.
just because he said,
How many times do you give the officer the benefit of the doubt when somebody's running away and they shoot them?
Okay, so now you're derailing. I'm asking
No,
you why you believe this, because he said it?
I'm just taking up the same fucking argument, the same talking points that you do. I'm taking the same
Oh,
stance.
well, I'm trying to take on the argument, actually.
I'm taking that stance. I'm taking the same position. Because you can't get into the mind of somebody in the moment when something's happening to them. You don't know what they're thinking in that split second. Things happen fast. He feared for his life. That's what he said.
No, he did not. No, he did not. Because we have from the 3 verified witness testimonies that we do have. Listen, everyone. It doesn't matter what side you're on. It does whether you're on Karmelo's side or the twin brother side. It doesn't matter. We can all agree that before any of this popped off, Karmelo was asked to leave. Right?
I want you to understand what you just said. Say it one more time. Say it one time. He was what?
Asked to leave.
How was he asked to leave?
Somebody said it wasn't one of the Metcalf brothers, but somebody. This is what we got from the 3 verified testimonies that I understand.
I've been looking at all the videos.
This whole thing, this whole ordeal all started when somebody, it wasn't the Metcalf brothers, it was probably some girl, knowing how girls are. So some girl said, you're not supposed to be in this tent. Can you leave? And then he was probably like, nah, fuck you. And then everyone's like, oh, you're not even from the school. And then, the Austin, the Metcalf brothers had to stand up as the alpha males and be like, yeah, get the hell out of here. And he's like, touch me, see what happens. And, maybe Austin puts his hands on him to like throw him out. And he gets, shanked in the chest. That's what I think happened.
And let's say that scenario that you just said actually happened. Let's say that is the story. You still think that kid's guilty?
Yeah, because first of all, criminal intent, and second of all, escalation of force. And third,
what's criminal intent? And let's go one by one. What's the criminal intent?
He had a knife illegally, and he got rid of it and fled the scene.
What do you mean? What do you mean he had a knife illegally?
Well, you're not allowed to have a knife on school grounds.
They weren't at the school. They've already covered that before.
The track is considered school ground.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. That's a track in the city that anybody can use.
School track is school property, and it is considered school grounds. It is considered, all the laws of the school apply to that piece of property.
Okay. So here, you say he had an illegal knife on school grounds. Okay. Keep going. What was your next thing?
Yeah. After the fact, he fled the scene. He got rid of the knife. And there isn't, because especially in Texas,
What do you mean by he fled? Hold on. What do you mean by he fled?
He ran away.
He ran away from what the close proximity
He ran away
where it happened. Did he run all the way across town? Did he run out of the fucking established
He ran about area? 2 miles away.
He ran away from them. He ran away from them. That's not.
It was about 2 miles away.
No, he was not. The officer is in the police report.
He was on the other side of the track.
The other side of the track. So he was still on the track, right? He was still inside the track area, right?
Yeah, well, it's a big campus. I mean, millennial.
So let's go to the next one. He didn't flee.
Yes, he fled. Dude, he was over a mile away. He was far away.
No, he was not. In the police report, it says that the officer
they had to track him down. The police had to find him. So, of course, he was far away.
No, they did not. In the police report, it says they caught him on the fence line of the track field. What are you talking about? Go pull up you want me to pull up the police report for you?
The police, and even so, the police had to find him.
Fence line of the track field. Stop! Don't come in here with the lies, because I'm gonna correct that.
The track field is in a different place than the track tents.
The track tents are inside of the track field. They're in the bleachers.
No.
It's a whole
The
fucking
track
stadium.
field
What
is
are you
off
talking
to the
about?
side. He
Red,
fled.
did you not see the
He was
video?
far
Did you
away
not see
when it transpired. He wasn't right next to the Metcalf brother.
Red? He was still inside of the track area, the fence line. He
But
was
he
inside
fled the scene and he got rid of the knife.
If I stab somebody, I'm gonna get the fuck away from him too. What you talking about, Red?
But wouldn't
stay
you call the police and say, "Hey, I was just assaulted," and
So you hold on, Red. So you telling me if you stab somebody in the bleachers, because for whatever reason, I'm not even gonna give my point of view right now because I know what side of the story I've heard. But you stab somebody, you expect them to stand right there where they stabbed that person, where obviously they were aggressed on by multiple people, and it ended up with you stabbing somebody. You're gonna stand right there. You're not gonna get yourself away from them. You're just gonna
if you
stand right
didn't do anything wrong, yeah.
Red, they fucking ran up. Did he approach them or did they approach him?
Well, he approached their tent and made a home in their tent.
Red, real quick. Did Anthony approach the Metcalfs or did the Metcalfs approach him?
Anthony approached the Metcalf's tent.
No. The Metcalfs were in an entirely different tent. You need to read the police report.
So why? How could this have ever happened if they were in two different tents?
Over to the tent. They came over there to the kid. You need to
So
read the
so they were in the same tent. Okay.
No, they were in different tents. Anthony was in
I
another
thought you said
tent.
it was raining.
And the Metcalfs were in both. Yes. Anthony was in a one tent that wasn't his school's. It was raining. He ran up under one tent. The Metcalfs, both the twins, came from another tent into that tent to tell him to move.
Where'd you get that from?
Read the police report.
I did. Where's that in the police report?
Oh my God. I guess I'm gonna have to pull it up. But keep going with your other arguments. What was your other argument? He said he fled. What else you had after that?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's escalation of force. I mean, that was all criminal intent, and criminal intent is kind of a squeezy, litigious thing. It's hard to argue in court. That's why it was so hard to argue with you about it just now, because I mean, that's how it's going to go down in the courtroom. It's very contentious and litigious. But furthermore, there's also escalation of force. And the prosecutors are going to display this as, this is a high school beef, yada, yada, yada. No need to pull out a knife. His defense is going to have to come up with some sort of escalation of force to justify why any reasonable person would assume that their life is at risk when it's been stated many times by many different witnesses that Karmelo Anthony was either asked to leave.
Real quick, Red. Your life doesn't have to be at risk for you to take somebody else's life and it be legal and justified.
In this kind of scenario, yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. I'm just saying, in general, it doesn't.
Okay, give another example.
Legally, you don't have to have your life be at risk. So we can't keep trying to make it seem
So
like that's
give an example where that would be justified then.
If somebody's breaking into your house, if somebody's trying to take your daughter,
This is not somebody's house; it's school grounds.
I'm just saying though, if somebody, Ray,
But that's not a good example because this is school grounds.
I'm giving you examples of where your life does not have to be.
That's not a good example because this is school grounds. I'm asking you for an example that applies to this situation.
Your argument is based on that if his life was not in danger, he didn't have the right to take this other young man's life. I'm telling you that your life does not have to be in danger legally to take someone's life. And
maybe if it's in your own property, yeah. Maybe if it's in your own property, sure, I'll agree with that. But this wasn't in anybody's home. This was on the public track of the school.
It doesn't matter.
It obviously does matter because the school has knife laws. The school has a decency law. I mean, there's a whole bunch of litigious shit you get into when something happens on school grounds. Trust me, I know.
I'm listening to you. I'm pulling up the report right now.
And so all I'm saying is it's going to be a hard time for Karmelo's lawyers. And it's a good thing they started the Give, Send, Go account.
All right, here we go. Real quick, because you said he fled, and I got Miss Jackson in here too. I'm gonna get her back up in here. Give me your thoughts real quick, like while I pull up. I'm about to put this report up here online for Red, since he said this kid ran the fuck away. He was a mile away and shit. Because I'm gonna disprove that lie real quick. But Miss Jackson, what were your thoughts so far?
Well, I was trying to reiterate what I was saying from my phone froze up. That basically, I think my main concern was, why did Karmelo feel the need to bring a weapon to practice? You know what I'm saying? Or he was, whether it was school grounds or not.
Jack, it was a track meet. It was a track meet. It wasn't practice.
Okay, but same thing. A meeting.
No, it ain't same thing.
Hold on. Okay, let me finish my statement.
Why would you bring a knife regardless?
Rather, we having a meeting for the sports or the team that I play on, whether it's at school grounds or whether it's practice for the team that I play on, being in sports, or just a meeting, whatever the case may be.
I remember bringing a knife to basketball practice.
Look, this is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna say other things than what it was. It was a fucking track meet. We don't need to throw in practice, a meeting, none of that. It was a track meet. Let's just say what it was. There's no point in throwing in other fucking variables to a situation that doesn't matter.
So the concern is, why did Karmelo feel the need to bring a weapon to the track meeting? Okay, it was just a meeting with his track team and his teammates. Why did he feel the need to bring a weapon there? That's my concern. Also, that said that you said it was reported that he jumped from one tent to another. Well, what was the purpose of that? While they was out there having the meeting, it started pouring down raining or storming, and to my understanding, he just ran into a tent. So if he ran into one tent and ran out of that one and ran into another, what was the purpose? If you already have shelter and ran into a tent, why leave that space, that area, to go run into another tent? So it's just a lot of pieces missing to the puzzle.
It's not like he was out in the
You're right.
rain.
Let's pull up. My thing is, because I agree with Red in a lot of areas. I mean, the truth is the truth. There are rules and regulations that is a part of school activity. They were students. They are minors. They are, children. And so let's pull up the receipts. I'll be glad to see it, because there's a lot of he say, she say in this case. And the media has not revealed a lot quite yet. So let's pull up the reports and the receipts. And I feel like I'm going to revert back to what I said from the start. We're not quite sure if it was a verbal altercation or if it was a physical altercation. Now, we do know that Karmelo made a statement to the police that it got physical. Okay, that was a statement being made, but we still have not seen the receipts. And the young lady that was in the chat, it's your approach to people. You say you got some receipts from a valid source. Well, you could have made that clear up front. You don't come in attacking nobody about a statement that's pretty factual.
She was on your side about the whole situation. That's what
it ain't about size, Jay. It's about truth.
She agrees with your
point.
But, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm talking about her approach. She should have said that off the top. Eventually in the end, she was like, you don't know what you're talking about, and you weak-minded. I'm talking about attacks and how she presented herself. She should have came up and said off the top, well, hey, I've seen some receipts or a video from a valid source. And that's why I have my opinion.
Right,
see, that's the difference. I'm just saying that's the difference. You got to correct stuff when it's out of order. But, I agree with Red in a lot of areas, man. My concern is, why did he feel the need to bring a weapon in the first place?
A lot of kids carry knives. No, look, a lot of people trying to do that as demonization. I carried knives to school. Red, you already admitted that you carried knives to school. We all, as young people at that age, carried knives to school. But the only difference was this wasn't at school.
But we all understand that's illegal. And if you get caught with a knife, you're going to get in trouble.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But to try to say that it's criminality, that's bullshit.
It is.
No, it's not. It's the simple fact that kids do shit like that.
No, it
You're
doesn't
trying
matter if kids do shit. It's still against the law. It's criminality.
Okay, red. Do you wear your seatbelt every time you get in the car?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Of course I do.
No, stop lying. Red, stop lying.
I mean, yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, most of the time I do. Like, man, come on now. Everybody breaks the law every time, man.
See,
Like,
that's a bad analogy because me not wearing my seatbelt is different than me bringing a knife to school.
Red, you would say anything that is against the law is criminal activity, right?
Yeah, but there's levels of criminal activity.
I don't care. Because
No,
when you say it in this
of
case,
course you don't care because you don't care about nuance. Okay,
No,
me wearing my
I do
seatbelt is
care.
different than me bringing a knife to school.
No, I want you to understand how when you say things like that, you try to exaggerate it to a higher level by saying it like that.
I'm not
That's
exaggerating
criminal.
anything. Keeping
When I
everything
say
where it belongs.
this guy met up with this girl and he ended up raping her, he had criminal intent. This kid brought a knife to a track meet.
What?
He had criminal intent. That's the category that you're putting it in. You're putting it in the mindset.
No.
That he came to
The
that
point
track
is,
meet
why did he
to
have the knife?
stab somebody. No.
Well, I
you're
feel
saying
like
that-
I feel like Red's point is that's going to be the prosecution's attack, of course, because they're going to try to label it premeditated. What was the need? Was there a history of threats or him feeling in fear of his life or some, being in some type of danger or something of that nature? That's going to be the prosecutor's attack.
Yeah,
Exactly. And that question has to be answered if you're going to argue self-defense.
Well, I'll tell you this, Red. The prosecutor's going to have an uphill battle trying to prove premeditation because he didn't know the kid.
No, the defense is going to have an uphill battle. Trust me.
Well, here, I'm saying on this point, but I wanted to make sure I got this point out here real quick, like because you told me that they found this kid a mile away. Well, this is Officer Allison Ricci. This is his account because this is the person that arrested not Tyree, nigga. What the fuck I'm talking about? Karmelo Anthony. Allison appears to be the officer that Cortez referred to as Richie. Statement corroborates Cortez, although it's briefer, less detailed. She claims he also heard Anthony confess, blah, 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 blah. Okay. When I arrived, this is their statement. When I arrived on scene, I approached the track/field area and saw Officer Cortez kneeling next to a black male wearing a gray hoodie sweatshirt and blue sweatpants. When I approached the track and field area, I saw Officer Cortez kneeling next to a black man wearing a gray hoodie sweatshirt and blue sweatpants. He ran a mile away, Red.
Oh my God, you're such an idiot. Do you realize how big suburban high schools are, especially with their tracks and field, let alone in Texas? This is a giant area. And this was on the other side of the tents, where the tents were, where this happened, because Karmelo fled the scene of the crime and he got rid of the knife. So,
Hey, Red,
notice in this Officer Allison's report, he never notes anything about the victim or the witnesses around the victim because he wasn't in that area.
At what point in the video did you get in here? Like, how
I've been
far into the
I've
video?
been watching the whole thing, dude.
So you actually watched them actually show the video of the track?
Going in, yeah.
No, they showed the entire field and everything, the bleachers and everything from a
Yeah,
sky
the
view. You saw that part, right? Right? You saw that, right?
Well, from what I'm reading on the report, it's basically saying when he arrived on the scene, he seen Officer Cortez kneeling next to basically Anthony Karmelo, the black male wearing a gray hoodie and sweatshirt and blue sweatpants. And he was in handcuffs. He was already detained.
And this is an important fact, when Officer Allison Ricci says the scene, when he arrives at the scene, that's not the scene of the crime. That's the scene he showed up where he found Karmelo.
It happened at the fucking track.
Okay, but the track is a giant place, dude. A suburban high school ground.
Red, you keep saying that a suburban, whatever the fuck. I played sports, Red. I played sports. I've been on the track field probably more times than you have. They showed a video of the goddamn track complex. We saw it. It ain't no goddamn mile long. It ain't no mile long. The whole shit was fenced in, nigga. Like, what are you talking about?
The first
He didn't
police
run away. He never left the facility. He never left the facility. Stop saying he fled. You said they found that boy a mile away. They not gonna walk nobody a mile back.
The school grounds, but he did flee the scene.
Look, they gonna walk him a mile back after they catch him. We ain't gonna get him in the car and shit. We gonna walk him a mile back.
Why would you go a mile away?
Why would you kneel on the ground after you walking somebody back from a mile away?
Because another officer already had him kneeling on the ground.
No. Why would that officer be kneeling on the fucking ground if he had to walk a fucking mile to get him?
Because that was the scene he pulled up to. That wasn't the original scene of the crime. This is the account of an officer that pulled up.
I'm talking about the other officer. Officer Richie is the one that said they came up and saw Officer Cortez. I'm talking about Officer Cortez. Why would Officer Cortez be kneeling on the ground if he had to go a whole damn mile to get the motherfucker?
Because he had just apprehended Karmelo on the other side.
From a mile away?
Well, on the track, he still fled the scene. He fled the scene, and that's going to be court. That's going to be a court case. I'll put money on it.
He didn't run away, bro. He didn't run away, man.
He did. He definitely fled the scene, and the police even noted that in the report.
Dude, he got away from where the situation happened. Saying fleeing the scene is like somebody getting in the car and fleeing and trying to get the fuck as far away as possible. No, he got away from this where that situation happened.
Okay, well, he also got rid of the
same time. He didn't run away. Words mean something. And when you say flee, you made it seem like he was trying to get the fuck away. No, he just got away from the situation. He wasn't trying to leave the entire area. That's why they found him inside of the track. They found him on the fence line.
Well, my whole perspective
how do you know he wasn't trying to leave the entire area?
Because they found him inside of it.
Well, how do you know they didn't keep him in time?
Red. The cops got called. They weren't on scene. They got called.
Yeah, but maybe they have a good response time. Maybe the police station's right there.
Yeah. So how fast you think the response time was then?
It's probably better than Detroit.
I'm just saying, how long you think it was?
Well, in a suburb like Texas, local police response time probably like 2 to 5 minutes.
So 2 to 5 minutes after this kid done stabs him. You say 2 to 5 minutes. Let's say
I think Karmelo actually, from the report I saw, Karmelo was apprehended about 7 minutes after it happened.
Okay, let's say so 7 minutes they apprehended him. You telling me this kid stabbed somebody, maybe 30 seconds afterwards, somebody calls the cops. Maybe 30 more seconds after that, they have a description and the cops get the call to finally come. So that's a whole minute after he done stabbed him. And you telling me 7 minutes after that, they arrive on scene and this nigga is still inside the track and he was fleeing?
Because the track is, dude, look up Millennial High School, look up the campus, look up the school grounds. It's a very big place, trust me. It will take you a long time to get on the other end of that, especially if you're walking around the bleachers or just eating a crime scene.
So you telling me a kid that runs track couldn't get out the track field in less than 8 minutes?
Well, maybe he was nervous. Maybe he was avoiding cameras. Who knows?
Maybe he wasn't fleeing. That sounds like the more logical.
Well, if he wasn't fleeing, why wasn't he at the scene of the crime?
Why the fuck would you stab? Red, if I shot somebody, I got into a fight with somebody, some people tried to jump me and I shot them, I'm backing the fuck up. I'm not standing right there where I shot the person.
Okay, but you're not running away, are you?
I'm getting away from the situation. Dude, the same thing this kid did,
Well,
bro.
if the situation has been handled, you call the police and tell them what happened. That's what you're supposed to do, at least.
Well, either way the ball rose. Either way the ball rose, he was captured. Okay, just getting to the bottom of it, he was captured and he admitted it. There wasn't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He said he did it, and everybody, they know he did it. He didn't really run because by the time police arrived on the scene, he was still there and he was captured. Period. And he never denied it.
Yeah, that's true. He said I did it from the jump.
Look, look at this right here. Look at this. Look at this. Let's read this line. Cortez was in his office at the middle school and reportedly ran the short distance from the middle school to the stadium, where several witnesses pointed him in the direction of the suspect.
Wait, so you're telling me he ran? Why did he run?
Dude, this is the goddamn Cortez, the officer, the police officer, man. Listen what
I got you. My bad.
But he just wanted more than me to ran somewhere. He just wanted so bad. The suspect at this point was on the track.
Yeah, on the north end. Yeah.
Yeah, on the north end.
No way. Red, all you had to do is really read the police report. Stop saying that shit. That boy didn't flee. He was still on the track.
He was on the north end. Where were the tents?
Well, if he fled, the police wouldn't have caught him right there.
Hold on. Check this. Did I not say earlier that he was on the fence line? There was a chain link fence that separated me from the suspect. He was on the fence line.
Yeah, because because the tents are in a situation. The north end of the track extends outward, and the tents are in like the center of the track.
You just keep on.
For him to be on the north end of the track means he would have had to run from the tents.
Red, I clearly said that he got away from the situation. If he stabbed that dude right there, he already was in fear for his life. He probably made an action and just got the fuck on.
That's what I said. He fled the scene.
Red, he's still on. What is the scene to you? The bleachers? The tent? What's the scene?
The immediate area where he put a knife into somebody.
He's in the immediate area. He's still on the exact same facility that the action was committed
No, he's not in the tent. He's not on the bleachers. He's not even in the same area. He's on the north side of the track. What is he doing on the north side of the track? Let me ask you that, Jay.
Getting away from the people that attacked him a second ago.
Oh, so why is he on the north side of the track? Why isn't he going home?
Getting away from the people that just attacked him. That made him stab somebody. He's getting away from them.
So you're assuming he was in fear of his life
from his own actions.
You're assuming
what I would infer. That's what I would infer.
You're assuming that.
And you're assuming that he wasn't? Let me throw that back at you.
I'm just pointing out that you are. I never assumed that he was doing anything.
If a kid told you that the guy put his hands on him, he admitted to stabbing the guy. Clearly, he felt some type of way to put him in the position to
just because somebody says somebody put hands on me doesn't mean that I agree with them stabbing somebody. So no.
All right, but guess what? That's something that you prove in court. That ain't something that you try to argue with somebody.
Exactly. And I'm saying what we have in court right now, defense team has a real hard case on their hands.
But Red, you have no evidence to prove that he didn't have fear in his heart.
That's not how it works, though. The burden of proof. In order to prove self-defense, you have the burden to prove. You have to prove that your life was in danger. It doesn't work the other way around.
No. Another thing, they have to prove that it was intent, that he had intent to do hurt or harm to this young guy. That's going to be
hypothetically. Austin Metcalf put his hands on Karmelo Anthony. That is not enough to warrant a knife in the chest, because for all we know, Austin Metcalf is putting his hands on Karmelo to get him out of the tent, to remove him, like a bouncer removes you from the club, or like how
I think the question is, did they gang jump him? Was he jumped? Was he attacked by the two brothers?
I don't even want to worry about that. I want to address the point I just said.
But that's a valid point.
Look, I got you. But here, Red, you said this point. Austin them try to put their hands on him and remove him out of there like a bouncer. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, in the sense that you cannot infer a threat to your life if you have been told to leave.
I got you. I got you. Real quick question. Is it legal for you to put your hands on people?
Yeah, it is
Yep.
actually.
Yep. It's called assault.
Well, no,
Correct.
people put their hands on people all the time. It's not assault.
Only if they don't report it.
What's the charge?
Only if they don't report it.
That's right.
All the time, you know, it casually equate people. I mean, well, people shake hands. People put hands.
It could sum up to domestic violence. It could be harassment, but it is a charge.
If you put your hands on anybody and they do not warrant you putting their hands on them, that is assault. Unwanted touching.
Okay, well, see, here's the thing. While they might be litigiously true, if you cut in front of me at 7-Eleven and I put my hand on your shoulder, like, hey man, you just cut. What the hell's wrong with you? And you call that assault?
We can talk about that. Talking about violently hitting somebody or forcefully attacking somebody.
Exactly. That's what I assume when you say put hands on somebody, right?
That's what he's saying too, and you don't believe that's what the case is. You're
Well,
trying
what's
to
that?
argue against it.
You're going off Thursday.
No, Red. He told him that the boy put his hands on him. The reporter.
What does that mean?
The reporter even said the cops gave them the report saying that there was a fight, some sort of fight.
Okay, so you're gonna trust the news because they said the word fight?
The police told him.
So the police said fight, which fight could mean anything. You know what fight means in a police report?
Here we go. Look. Here we go.
Well, that brings back to my original point. I said we got to get to the bottom of to find out, was it a verbal altercation or a physical altercation? It's a big question mark because there's no valid receipts to show it was a physical fight. So that's where
there's evidence to show that it was physical because even the person that did the stabbing said that he put his hands on him. Even the witness,
right? That's from Karmelo's statement, but that's all we got. That's all we got.
No, we actually have witnesses in this police statement right here, this police report right here that I got up on screen, where they talked about they grabbed his bag first, then they grabbed him.
Okay, let's pull that. Let's highlight that part. Let's pull that part up. Where's that stated? That they grabbed his bag, his backpack?
Yes, they grabbed his backpack first, and then they grabbed it because they tried to grab his shit and move him up out of the tent.
Yeah, this is Cortez officer account.
Okay, well, let's just read that. We're trying to see what's going on. Let's read that.
Getting irritated now. Getting irritated. I'll look for it, but continue the conversation.
But again, we're trying to figure out what really happened. Was it physical or verbal?
It's fucking physical. I don't even know why
because like earlier we were saying there's so many different stories that's been told.
We only
there's
have
no
two
receipts.
So let me answer your question. We have two indications that this was a physical altercation and not a verbal one. The first one is that Karmelo Anthony, in this case that the officer is reporting, said, quote, he put his hands on me. The second piece of evidence is the other twin brother of Austin, who I guess he died in the arms of, saying that Austin, I think he said on the front lawn, either he grabbed or shoved him. And I mean, you could interpret a shove in many different ways. We all know this as guys. If we're getting into a confrontation, there's a bump, there's a shove, there's a grab, there's a intense grab, there's an intense shove. There's a million different, body language signatures that could have been exchanged here. Neither of whom I would argue warrant a knife in the chest.
We can all agree with that. I think we all can agree with that. But we also need to all be able to agree that a kid was touched in a violent way and he responded.
And bro, it's high school sports. Dudes get touched all the time.
Hold up, Red. Let me finish it. Regardless of if we agree or not how he responded, it was caused by something. So this whole narrative of this innocent young kid that had a bright future in front of him, that had all this great, he was being a bully to somebody. He was coming up trying to
Well, he
strong
did have a bright future, and we don't know if he was being a bully. For all we know, he was standing up to people who were asking this guy to get out of their tent.
Okay, hold on. He's standing up to a guy that was trying to get out of the rain.
No, well, he had another tent, so it wasn't him getting out of the rain. Let's stop that first of all.
Who said he had a tent? Who said that Carmelo Anthony had a tent out there?
Because there were several.
You said earlier you said he left one tent and ran into Austin in them tent. And I was trying to figure out, why did he leave one tent and run to another? If he ran under shelters, then
I think he had a problem. I think he had a problem with Austin. If I'm keeping it a buck with you, I think he had a problem with the Metcalf brothers on the track because he had just won the final track meet, and the Metcalf brothers, or Austin, I think, came in like third or fourth, and they were beefing. And so he went into their tent, I guess, to flex on them, and they were like, "Get out of the tent." And he's like, "Touch me, see what happened."
See, I don't like when narratives get pushed like that. And first off, people need to actually listen. I never said that Carmelo Anthony left his tent and went to another fucking tent. So Jackson, I don't know what the fuck you've been listening to.
No. You said he left one tent and ran into another.
The two twins left the tent that they were in and came over to the tent that Carmelo was at.
Where's the evidence for that?
Dude, you want me to give you the dude that gave his eyewitness report of it?
So you're saying, hold on, Jay. So you're saying that Austin and his brother Hunter ran into Carmelo's tent and asked him to get the fuck out?
No, Carmelo. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. This shit don't make no sense, man. Y'all know y'all supposed to be.
So this
is trying to clarify your statement, because I recalled you saying
you didn't listen to what
I recall you saying that Carmelo ran into one tent and then left out that tent and ran into another, which is where Austin and Hunter was.
Yeah,
that's
I never
what
said that. Yeah, I never said that.
Okay, just trying to clarify.
What I said was, it started raining. So when Red said it was the last race, it was not. They were still racing out there. But it started raining. So
no, I'm talking about the last race that you participated in.
Okay, I got you on that. It started raining out there. So everybody started getting underneath tents. It was getting bad out there, bad weather, getting underneath tents. Carmelo went underneath one tent he went underneath the tent that wasn't his. It wasn't his team's. He was just trying to get out the fucking rain. That's pretty logical for anybody to think, just trying to get underneath the tent. The Metcalfs were underneath another tent. They left their tent and came to the tent that Carmelo was in and told him to get the fuck out. I'm about to pull up the eyewitness.
So that's what I just said, that Austin and Hunter.
No, you said Carmelo.
No. I said, so you're saying that Austin and Hunter went into the tent where Carmelo was and asked him to get the fuck out. I just said that 2 seconds ago. I asked you.
No, you said that. I said that Carmelo.
Let me restate it. I was asking, Hunter and Austin ran into the tent where Carmelo was and asked him to get the fuck out. That's what you're saying.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So I just looked up the details, and it turns out the tent where the incident happened, that tent was designated for millennial students, which means Austin and his brother were allowed in that tent. It was designated for them, not Carmelo.
Red, I'm not arguing that. I admit, I don't have no problem saying it. It wasn't Carmelo's tent. I'm not arguing that.
But he had his own tent. Why didn't he go into his own tent?
Who knows if he had his own tent? He was trying to get out the rain.
Because the competing school has their own tent on the track field.
Hey, listen to what I'm trying to tell you. This shit got started because a motherfucker wanted to tell them to get from underneath the tent when it was fucking raining. So first off, when people try to make it seem like these kids, these Metcalfs, were just some holy, godly, friendly kids, it's fucking storming, raining outside, and you gonna tell this black kid to get from underneath the tent for what? It's raining.
They weren't the first ones to tell him to leave. I don't think they were the first ones to leave.
Think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying. It's raining.
You got to keep in mind. Okay, here's my point of view. You got to keep in mind, we're dealing with children. What do you expect from children? You expect for them to act like adults and have behavior like mature adults? They're fucking children. So they're going to act childish. That was a childish behavior.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Obviously, a bunch of high school kids are going to be like, "Oh, this is our high school. Get off. Our high schools are failing together." Right? That's a normal behavior between children. You know, it's not normal. Stabbing each other in the heart.
Having motherfucking common sense at that age is not fucking not. That's having. We all been 17 years old. You're not telling me that these motherfuckers are just stupid as fuck. 17
But
years old.
Unfortunately, you got some out there like that. You got some stupid ass kids.
Guess what? These ain't none of them work. They knew exactly what the fuck they were doing.
Out of ignorance, they was choosing to be ignorant and be childish. That's the point.
I don't think Austin knew what he was doing. I think Austin was a suburban-raised white Texas kid. So I was born and raised in Detroit. So I know, if I see a kid reaching in a bag, I start running. Right, but yeah, I guess he saw him reaching in the bag and kept going.
Motherfucker, tell your ass don't touch him. You ain't gonna touch him again.
Well, I mean, it's just the bag reaching thing. Like as soon as you see someone reaching for the bag, you start running.
If they hand in their bag, you not running up on them again. And you touch them, and they go grab their bag and put their hand.
So that's what the media want to keep here. They want to keep dog that Austin ran up on Karmelo first.
That's what happened.
And that's what they want to keep swept under the rug. That's the issue. Because they want to make it look like it was just a verbal altercation. They just got to arguing. When, the full surface, they trying to say the Hunter jumped him. That both of them was trying to big boy him. And he warned them and said, you run up on me again, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to do you. So that's the underlying issue. That was my whole point from the start, to get to the bottom of what really happened. To consider it self-defense.
Exactly.
It's gonna be his argument of self-defense, and I believe that he actually has a decent chance of getting it. I know Red said he doesn't think that he has a good chance of getting it. I believe he does. For the main simple fact of he was approached. They put their hands on him. He didn't go searching them people out. So all that premeditation bullshit, just throw that shit out the fucking window. He didn't premeditate nothing. He was approached.
Okay, so Jay, let's say you're at the beach.
But they're going to use it because they're going to say, what do you have a weapon for in the first place? They're going to use that against them.
Let's say there's a beach, and you have a beach umbrella, and I sit under your umbrella, right? And I say, oh, this is my umbrella now. If you remove me, I'm just going to stab you in the chest. And, it's self-defense.
Like you told me earlier, not the same.
Well, tell me, what is the same? Because, the father of Austin Metcalf showed up at the press conference of the Karmelo Anthony family, and they kicked him out because they said he was threatening and menacing when he was never about that.
Why would he show up? And that's the only negative that I have on that.
Maybe because he's involved. If anybody has a right to show up to a press conference for a convicted killer, it's the father of the person they killed.
All right, first off, he's not a convicted killer. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. And he is still trying. Say charged. But no, dude, you don't show up to shit like that. That is disrespectful. I don't care what you're talking about.
It's a public press conference.
Okay, Red. If somebody killed your brother or sister, and then y'all having a press conference, and that person shows up, or their father shows up, you gonna tell me that's all fine and dandy?
No, because that wasn't the killer's father. That was the victim's father.
It doesn't matter. It's disrespect.
It does matter. It does matter.
Okay, if you say so. And the sad part is you call him the victim.
He wasn't being threatening. He wasn't being menacing. You've seen this father. We all agree this father is a good man. He's not making this about race. He's not about anything political. He's being a good guy. And the fact that he showed up to this press conference and they kicked him out just shows the double standard.
No. Double fucking standard. What are you talking about?
Because, it's the father. Here's the double standard, okay? The father of the son that was murdered, Okay, he shows up to the public press conference for the accused, right? And he doesn't say anything. The media are questioning him. They're looking at him, and he still doesn't say anything. And they kick him out, and they say it was disrespectful and disingenuous. But you know,
Dude,
at least
Lord,
at
see,
least he didn't stab anybody. You know, they asked him to leave. At least he didn't stab anyone.
Look, I love this half-ass knowledge. First off, the press conference didn't even start because it got held up 45 minutes because he wouldn't leave. They asked him to leave. Just like
why?
Supposedly his sons asked Karmelo to leave. They asked him to leave. He didn't want to leave. He only left once the police got there and escorted his ass away.
His sons? No, he stood there silently the whole time.
No, he didn't. They escorted him out. The press conference didn't even start for fucking 45 minutes.
Because they tried to kick him out.
Exactly. You talking about he stood there silently. They didn't start it until he left.
Because they decided that he was intimidating.
No, it's disrespectful. Don't show up to no shit.
How was that disrespectful? Their son just murdered his son. How is that disrespectful for him to show up to a public press conference?
Real quick, give me one good idea. I'm just gonna dabble on this rabbit hole real quick. Like before I give you the eyewitness account and let them actually say it themselves of what they saw. But what is the point of him showing up to the press conference of the kid that?
What's the point of him saying anything to the media?
What do you mean? I'm talking about the family.
What's the point of him calling that black guy in the cowboy hat to go confront that white supremacist?
Karmelo Anthony family was having a press conference. He showed up to it. What is the point of him showing up to it?
A public press conference.
Okay. Regardless of the fact, what was the point of him showing up to it?
I think it was personal. I think he had his own personal reasons. He could have showed up to either try to want to see about the guy being prosecuted, or he could have showed up to say, "Hey, he did this to my son, and I forgive him because I'm have strong faith in God, and that's my belief or whatever." We don't really know, but he had his own personal reasons, and if he didn't put it out there, it's just speculation.
He showed up to this event and he started praying. He invited other people to start praying with him. The media started walking up to him. They tried to kick him out. He was like, "All right, you guys want me to leave? I'll leave." He shook hands with the officers. They escorted him out, and they said it was disrespectful.
Lying. Why are you lying so hard like that?
That's what happened.
No, it's not what the fuck happened. Dude, the press conference got delayed.
We already saw this father. We already saw his character. We know what he's like. He didn't go to this press conference to start beef. He went there for solidarity.
I keep having to correct y'all tonight because I'm not. Look, this channel is not going to be putting out no false information about shit. It's not. That's some bullshit that you just said. That is not the case. He did not come out there trying to pray with no fucking body. He didn't pray at all. He only left when they actually once they called the police on his ass.
Where's the evidence of that?
Just show you the fucking video.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
It's on the news. Man, here you go. Real quick, we're going to do the eyewitness report real quick, like y'all, and then I'm going to show Red. I'm going to prove him wrong once again because you're just saying shit. I don't know what's up with you and Miss Jackson.
So why do you think the father showed up then, Jay?
That's what I asked you.
I think he showed up to show solidarity and to show everyone that we're all united in this tragedy.
The killer of his son. He showed up to show solidarity.
Yes, because he already said that he forgives him.
I asked for the receipts, man. I asked for the receipts for you to show the police report where you were stating that the young man.
I'm about to see the eyewitness report right now.
Right. I just asked for the fact. I see it because it's just a big question mark on what the fuck really happened.
This guy looks like Goro.
Here you go. And Red, you look like a pale lizard. Okay, let's keep going.
All right, peace and blue.
I'm skipping here.
A win. And,
here we go.
This, I'm gonna let you guys listen to him real quick. This is fair use from the page of the amazing Jamal.
All right, hold on. Let me see. Let me go to the amazing Jamal page real quick. Like the amazing Jamal, because I just needed that. Amazing. Here we can do Lucas, and then we can just take that out and just put Jamal on Jamal and get this goddamn. Let's get the amazing Jamal.
Why can't we just talk about the topic?
Yeah, we're actually going to talk about the topic. I'm about to let you hear the eyewitness report of what the fuck he was just talking about. Like, because you said all this shit that
One
I'm
of
saying.
many eyewitness reports at this point that is yet to be verified.
Red, how do you verify something?
Well, you get the name and the address of the person and the source that you're getting it from, and you cross-reference that with the situation that happened.
That doesn't verify anything.
Well, it's a lot better than trusting a random source on the internet.
And you're trusting a random name that you don't know, because guess what? The people that gave the account.
Because I'm asking you where you get this from.
See, I'm gonna show you why, Red, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You ready for it? Because if you're under the age of fucking 18, the police. Oh no, you ready? If you're under the age of 18 and you're listed in a police report as a witness or anything, the police cannot give your name.
All right. Here's your reminder.
What are you talking about verified fucking witness? What witness name you know?
Yeah, but what are the statements? The question is, what are the statements? What are the statements? The names don't have to be revealed because they're minors. Where are the statements?
That's what I'm saying. We about to hear this guy that said he was there.
That are verified right now.
We're about to hear this guy that said he was there. Red keep trying to go off of Jane Doe this, Jane Jim.
I really don't think this guy was at a high school track meet.
Look, we're gonna hear it. We're gonna hear it.
But this eyewitness is going to give you another version of events. Just take a listen to this.
They got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughter was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity, so
Do we need to stop real quick, Red? You need to say
So
something?
this is some black guy in a hotel room holding his phone up to another phone, and this is a credible evidence why.
That ain't no valid receipt. That's just somebody talking. We need to see something in writing. Something stated by the police. That ain't valid.
Right. This is like, who the fuck is this?
I'm gonna keep playing the video because Ms. Jackson, that statement you just made was stupid as fuck. Because you always sit over here and talk about the police lie, but you talking about we need a statement from the police.
No,
that's right. I'm like, man, who the fuck is that? That could be Joe Blow. We don't know who that is.
Okay, well, guess
you
what?
just don't believe.
This is somebody giving their account of being there and telling what
But
happened.
what accountability do they have?
What accountability? Okay, name one person that gave you some information about the situation.
I don't have to name that to ask what the fuck this has to do with anything.
Because you can't. This guy's giving his account of what happened that day.
Just like you can't explain why you're giving this. Like, this is not credible evidence.
You can believe
That's not
him or not.
credible. It ain't credible, Jay.
Regardless of whether you believe him or not, I'm still gonna play it.
So this guy in his hotel room with his WWE cutoff T-shirt is gonna tell us the facts.
No, the guy that's in the tank top or whatever is not the one talking. He told you which channel you can go to get the actual interview.
He's holding his phone up to the other phone.
It's off of goddamn YouTube for you. Somebody gave. Look, I'm not explaining shit to dumb motherfuckers. You already know what the fuck you're doing. He already told you to go to the channel if you want to hear the full interview of the guy giving his eyewitness account. He's playing the audio off his fucking phone. Like, stop playing.
Get all that, but I'm just saying it got to be some credibility, man. Legally speaking, it got to be some credibility. That could be anybody.
Guess what? Anybody's about to talk. Anybody's about to talk.
I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So, dude walks up, McCullen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. they intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, the dude that's got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was community track meet, bro. It wasn't a school track meet. So he had the right to have a knife on his person, bro. It's always gonna be.
All right, so that's old buddy's account. Whether y'all want to listen to it or not, that's neither here nor there. It don't really matter to me.
So do you think that's true? Do you think, because it wasn't school in session that he was allowed to have the knife?
Well, my whole point is this. It could be true, but legally it's not credible until, it is documented. Until the police job is to enforce the law. That's what I advocate for it to be properly forced and for people to, rights to be properly exercised or protected. But what I'm saying legally, that's no credibility. It could be the truth, but that's hearsay in the court of law until it's legal credibility. If it ain't in writing, it don't fucking exist. He has to be a valid witness to the state right now because Karmelo is being charged with a serious crime. That's the law. That's the law.
Like, I don't even understand how y'all don't understand that was dumb to say. Because when we sat here and listened to the father
I
say
never thought I'd agree with Miss Jackson. That's fine.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do because it was stupid.
No, it's intelligent.
Okay, here real quick. When we had listened to the father talk about recounting the events that happened, did we say he's not credible?
I said that's what his son told him, and you said out your own. You said out your own mouth. Yeah, that's that he believed his son told him. Well, Hunter said happened.
I agree.
But guess what? I said the same. He's going to believe what his son told him. That was it. That don't make it credible in the court of law.
Exactly, it's not credible.
Exactly. No one said it was. No one said it was.
Yeah, but you didn't say it wasn't credible either.
Well, why
What's
are you
the point? Hey, now one of it credible. Now one of it credible. The only thing I said is question marks, and puzzled people.
Man, goddamn, I can't keep dealing with that shit, Jackson. Like, fuck, goddamn, like for real, not tonight. Look, your argument is being hypocritical. You're being hypocritical right now. Red loving it because you on his. You still talking? Can't nobody hear you right now. Like, I'm just saying, like, look. If we're going to take the father's account into play, we also have to take, this person said they were an eyewitness to the situation. The father said he got his information from his son. If we're going to take the father at his word, we don't need to be sitting over here because somebody else is
secondhand sources. Why don't we just go straight for the son?
The son has an incentive to lie too.
Okay, so why are we taking secondhand sources from that?
I'm giving all the information. What the son said, what the father said, the son told him.
The son had first,
I'm not.
Because his brother literally died in his arms. There's a second witness.
I'm showing everything. I'm showing everything.
The news interviewed, and there's this third witness description that was verified on social media. None of which you have brought up, by the way.
I have given every account that we have on video right now. Every side, all
on video.
But you know what the funny thing is? The only pushback came when somebody said that nah, them kids ran up on that boy. That's the only time some pushback doesn't happen. You notice that? Interesting. It seems like people done formed a goddamn an idea already in their head. This case is already open and
But
shut.
see, this isn't the bigger problem here. Listen, I don't care. Like I said before, I don't have a dog in the fight. listen, there could be surveillance footage that comes out that shows Austin Metcalf punching this guy in the face and holding him down. And if that's the case, yeah, I think Karmelo was justified in self-defense.
Well, Red,
But
I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say because I'm finna jump off my phone, finna die out. But the only thing I asked for when he made a statement that he was jumped or whatnot, then we had just asked, let's see it in the report when he pulled up the police report. I asked, well, let's just read that because it's a lot of question marks and pieces to the puzzles missing in this entire case. You know, it's just a lot of he say, she say, which is inadmissible in the court of law if you know the law. And the only thing I asked was, you know, hey, let's just read that together in the report, and it was never read. So again, it's hearsay. There's no valid or credible witnesses been brought forth yet. None. Not from.
I want both of y'all to understand something because we keep talking about police reports and all this shit. You know what police reports are? Hearsay.
Well, that's true. So that's why we really have to wait to the trial.
So what are we stressing a police report about?
Well, that's a part. Well, that's a part of it. Once you have police, once you have testimony, it's called testimonies. Testimonies.
Before
and things of that nature that builds a case.
A police report is hearsay, even though what other people say on camera and what other people say other words is hearsay. The difference between a police report and what other people say is that a police report is on record with somebody's first and last name behind it.
Okay, but guess what? No. Actually, no, because there are a lot of people that file police reports and their name is never disclosed. So let's not say that lie.
It can be. It is still filed on record, even if
no, it's actually not because there are people. Go and look up all the names of the women that filed a suit against Jeffrey Epstein. I bet you can't. I bet you fucking can't.
Just because you can't find their names doesn't mean their names
you can't go find them. Look, we need to stop making dumbass statements like that. Look, I understand that y'all don't want to take what the guy said in the video as credible because obviously Red was looking at the guy who was hosting the video and just playing the audio for you from this guy's interview with somebody else on another fucking channel. So that automatically disqualified it.
No, I'm looking at all the evidence objectively.
What evidence do you have?
The evidence that we have from all the credible witnesses, which suggests that there was some sort of altercation.
Okay, Red, I want to know what, because we got to keep beating this dead horse. And I got
it looks like it ain't no evidence. The only evidence we got is Karmelo admitting he stabbed that boy in his heart. That's the only evidence I see. And out the whole entire case.
First moment testimony from Karmelo's, or from Austin's brother, Austin's twin brother.
But he has an both of the two people that you're naming, Karmelo and Austin's brother, they both have an incentive to lie, right?
Yeah, and there's also another witness.
We're gonna take both of those accounts as okay. He's saying this side. He's saying this side. There's two different sides of the story.
I haven't heard a statement from Hunter, but Karmelo just admitted to doing the dude, but he never said why he did it, or I hadn't heard what really led up to it.
He did say it. You didn't.
Well, maybe so. Well, maybe so. I just haven't read it. Maybe so, but I do know he admitted it.
No, he said.
Yeah, Hunter said there was an altercation, and he said Austin, put hands on him.
Whatever Hunter said, he said it to his dad. I ain't seen shit in legal documents.
Look,
right.
When it came to Karmelo's side, even from the videos that I showed, Karmelo said that he stabbed him because he put his hands on him. It showed it in the video. We listened to it.
Okay, but that's not good reason to stab somebody.
Dude, shut up. I'm just talking about what she just said. I'm trying to address the point where she said she didn't hear that. That was in the video. It was stated that he told the officer that he touched me and I stabbed him. Well, I can go into greater detail on that, but I'm trying to be quick about it. And to your point, Red, Hunter gave his brother gave his account. Well, Hunter is actually the one that's still alive. Austin's the one that's gone. Hunter gave an account, and his father reiterated what Hunter told him.
That's what I just said. That's exactly what I just said, Jay.
We just heard that.
That's exactly what I just said.
I don't think it was. But either way, though, outside
well, you hear what you want to hear. But that's what I just said.
Right. Outside of that, outside of that,
Yeah, that's what both of us were alluding to, actually.
you're discrediting. Look, I played with the guy, the eyewitness. He said he was an eyewitness to the situation and what happened.
Right.
That's where all this turmoil
Well, then
came
guess what? The prosecutor will subpoena him in court. We'll find out. We'll when it all boils down to it, he'll be subpoenaed as an eyewitness. Him and whoever else was around to solve the case. That's how that goes legally.
Exactly. Yeah. So when we hear people speaking on what they heard or what they saw at the situation, we don't need to just jump out and say, "Oh, that's not credible," because eventually it's going to go.
But we will know if once they're subpoenaed to court and the trial is going on, then it'll all come out. But as of now, everything is hearsay. He say, she say, hearsay. That's my point. Yeah. If you know the law, then you will understand that.
Jackson, I think I know the law better than you do.
You couldn't. That is impossible. That's impossible. That would never happen. I grew up in the system. I learned something growing up in the system, so I'm trying to share that.
I know the law. You might know the system, but I know the law.
No. Evidently, it's clearly not. But once he's subpoenaed to court again, then that makes it credible. We will know all the eyewitnesses will be subpoenaed.
Because it seems like
that's how that goes. That's the process.
Me and Ms. Jackson are just saying there isn't a substantial enough amount of evidence to prove a self-defense case. What you're saying is you're adding all these unverifiable witness testimonies. You're the one that's not actually,
that. The only thing I'm saying is,
I'm about to say she ain't on the side of that. Bro.
I ain't saying that. The only thing I'm saying is it's just a lot of hearsay going on, which is not admissible in the court of law. What fact we do have is Karmelo has admitted to committing the crime. That's really all that we have, to be honest with you, as of now. But that would change once they have the trial.
Yeah, we're not gonna say he committed a crime because he's innocent until proven guilty. And if you're doing something,
well, he took a life. Period.
It's still not a crime. It's not illegal.
Yes, it is. So taking a life is not a crime. Are you serious? But you know the law. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Taking somebody's life is not illegal.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Murder is all right. It's okay. And you go back home like ain't shit happened.
Hold on, real quick, Miss Jackson. I want you to understand what you're saying because I don't think you're thinking.
I know exactly what I'm saying. He took a life.
Let me explain it to you. If somebody had a gun to your head and you shot them first, is that a crime?
No, listen, I'm not going through all that. Taking a life is taking a life. Self-defense is different. Self-defense is different, but taking a life is the same result.
Yeah, but you're still taking a life.
So you don't make no sense. Do you know what you sound like? You're saying taking a life is not committing a crime? It is a crime. You can get off on self-defense. That's different.
It's not a crime then if you get off on it.
He took a life and he admitted that to committing the crime, like I said.
But that doesn't
somebody
mean
lost their life. Period.
That doesn't mean
well, they'll decide in trial. When the case is solved, they'll decide what his punishment would be or if he'll be punished at all. Period.
Okay,
that's in the judicial system.
So you do agree that taking a life is
not a crime? I'm done with that. We can move along. I'm done with that. He took a life and he admitted it.
Yeah,
period.
But is that a crime?
Well, what you think? What you think? Is it like going? What you think? It's like going to get a haircut? I mean, what you saying? Stupid. Oh wow.
Look, you told me you know the law better than me.
Oh wow. I sure do.
Okay, here, go take this. Taking a life is a crime because that's what you said. So all these cops that kill black folks running away, they ain't get committed. They ain't get convicted of a crime.
That just whether they got convicted or not, that ain't got shit to do with it. That ain't got shit to do with it. Taking a life is taking a life. Why you justifying it?
Topic.
Wow. But you know the law.
Yeah, I do. You can actually you can legally delete somebody.
If somebody come to, for example, somebody come to your house and you defend yourself, you still take their life. That don't mean you're not just. It's called being justified. Let me teach you something. It's called being justified. If somebody come break in your house and you take their life to hurt you or harm you and your family, you can be justified in court. by taking their life. It's just that's all. That's the only difference. Or you can be excused, but you still took a life. That don't change. That's common sense. Damn.
Because you can prove to them
That's
that
common sense. Damn, what planet you was born on?
family's like in danger.
You commit a crime. That's why you got to quit it, right?
It's called
That's why you gotta quit
justification. It's called justification.
Okay, so that means you didn't commit a crime.
Well,
They
you still took
justify
a
your
life. And my whole point was Carmelo admitted to taking the young man's life.
That don't mean
Period.
it's a crime.
Period. It is a crime. It is a crime. If that's the case, what the fuck he charged? What is he charged for? You tell me why he was in jail charged with a $1 million bond if it's not a crime.
And your client
Make it
said,
make sense.
I did it.
Yeah, I can't show me your face in the back, bro. This is bad.
You're right. It's horrible.
It's bad.
That's horrible, dude. No.
What's up, my kitty, man? What's going on, man?
I
Y'all
don't want
can
to
hear
go.
me? Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Oh, okay. What's going on, man? I see you
Hey,
over
look,
here
man.
saying that deletion isn't a crime. It is.
It's not.
What?
Well, go
You
take
can't
a life
go
and find
around
out what
Ted
happened.
Bundy.
Go take somebody's life and see what happened.
Yeah, you can't go
It
around
sounds like he's in the back of a cartel human smuggling van.
Look.
Yeah, you can't do
This
nothing
is
like
what I'm
that,
arguing.
Jay.
I want y'all to understand what I'm arguing, because what Miss Jackson's, what she said, her statement was, taking somebody's life is a crime. There are a lot of context matters. Hold up, real quick. Context matters, and people need to understand what context is.
No, she
Because
didn't
guess
just say that taking a life was a crime. She said that taking it without justifiable cause was a
No,
crime.
she didn't. She never fucking said that.
I said you can be justified. You heard what the fuck you wanted to hear. I said a motherfucker come up in my road and I defend myself, I can be justified. But guess what? I'm still going to be charged with the crime in order to be justified. So you heard what the fuck you wanted to hear.
Exactly. Even if you are legally in your right to self-defense, you are going to be held in court law. You'll be found justified.
Look, dude, I gotta mute everybody, man, because I ain't finna keep doing this. Like, I'm not. I'm trying to explain what the hell just happened, and y'all motherfuckers just keep lashing out. Like, stop, man. Y'all being a little too. I don't want to say the word, but just stop. Look, I said
Say the word.
taking somebody's life. I'm not gonna say it, but taking somebody's life is not a crime because you tried to brush it. There's context to the shit. Self-defense comes in the hand all the time. But you're not taking that into account. You're saying, well, he took that kid's life. It's a crime. He can be justified in court that it was self-defense. If he gets justified as self-defense, it's not a crime. But he
So
still
why
took a life.
still right now with a $1 million bond?
But he
It's not a
still
crime.
took
Answer that question for me.
that's just the process. OJ killed his. Look, OJ deleted his girl.
Yeah, OJ
and
killed
her
the
little
dude.
boy.
He was guilty.
OJ is such a great example because I think OJ is where all this comes from.
And that means he did not commit a crime.
He was acquitted.
He didn't get.
But then he
Exactly.
Did
OJ was
OJ have?
acquitted.
Hold up. Does OJ have a criminal record for that case?
Yes.
Allegedly.
No, he doesn't.
No, but he did go to
doesn't.
jail.
He was guilty.
He did go to jail
He
later.
did.
He didn't commit no crime.
Wrote the book now.
Listen, OJ was never convicted like Jeffrey Epstein.
So that means he didn't commit no crime.
OJ
No, he wasn't
crime, but he
convicted.
just wasn't.
That
but
means he
wasn't
didn't commit no
convicted of it.
crime. What the
No,
fuck?
that just means he wasn't convicted of a crime. Jeffrey Epstein, listen,
Hold on, Red. Say that
Jeffrey
one more
Epstein
time.
was
Say it
never
one more time.
convicted
No,
of a
Red,
crime because we all
Red,
think
Red,
that
Red, say it one more time. Red, say it one more time. He wasn't convicted of what?
just because you're not convicted doesn't mean you're not guilty.
Red, just say it. He wasn't convicted of what?
Who?
He paid millions of dollars to walk. You know that. He
OJ
paid.
wasn't convicted of what?
OJ wasn't convicted of the N word.
Then he, and he wrote book now. You say he did his wife.
Come on, obviously OJ is guilty.
Yeah, he was guilty.
Not according to a court of law.
Yeah,
he ain't commit no crime.
My phone, I got
Yeah,
5%.
there's a lot of things. It's true.
This shit crazy, man. I don't understand. I
don't
just
understand it either. And what's your take on, because I believe, because Karmelo Anthony raised a lot of money, which was conveniently lowered to his bail amount, which I believe is an example of black privilege. But why do you think that is the case? What? That it was, well, I think it's an example of black privilege because Daniel Penny didn't get a bail. Well, Daniel Penny didn't get a bail. Kyle Rittenhouse had bail raised.
No. We're not going to skip past that. What the fuck is black privilege? Please explain that to me. Is that like your counterattack?
I'll explain it to you. I'll explain it to you right now. So like I said, I just said, calm down. I'm explaining it to you. All right? Okay. Settle down. Okay. So Kyle Rittenhouse had his bail raised by the local judge. Daniel Penny didn't even get a bail. Karmelo Anthony had his bail lowered conveniently under the amount that was raised for him on Give Send Go, in which black people were donating to his Give Send Go with comments like, "Oh, I'm glad you killed that white boy and kill Whitey," etc.
That's a lie.
No, it's very true. You can look it up.
No. Actually, I've looked at the actual comments underneath that Give Send Go, and ain't nobody ever said that. So keep going.
But they're having comments like
there's
that.
There's several documented accounts.
For every
one up.
Yeah, put one up. And what the fuck is black
Okay, I will. And they're saying, "I'm glad you killed that white boy. Kill Whitey." There's vitriol on both sides.
Pull it up.
All right, you want me to go on Give Send Go and pull this shit up? All right.
Yeah, I do. But go ahead now, Kenny. What you had?
So Jay, honestly, I don't know what happened, but from what I heard, and this might not be true, but they said that he was with friends when he was under the tent. So it's not like he just went in the tent and just was chilling there. He was actually talking to friends, and that's when the twins approached him and said, "Get out." And I guess he was like, he felt like, what the fuck, like, I don't need to go. And then they were like, "We're gonna force you," because I heard they were bullied. That's the story that's going around. The twins were bullied. They're like 6'2", they're football players. Bro, these dudes are they're not fucking little. They're not like some
big dudes. Some big dudes, yeah.
Yeah, they're not some scrawny white boys now. And supposedly the kid, I think I don't know, until the video evidence comes out, it's kind of like the brick lady. The brick lady fucking was telling people she got hit by a brick. And I told a friend of mine, I was like, I ain't gonna say nothing until I see the evidence, like I need more to the story, because I'm not gonna just fight for this woman and she could be lying. So I need more evidence to come out for this story before I start going all out for the kid. But right now, from what I see, it sounds like the kid defended himself. He didn't think he was gonna kill the kid. You know what I'm saying? Like Red said,
why would you stab somebody in the chest with the intention of taking their life, and then turn around and ask the officer, "Is it okay?" after you told him you did it?
Well, because he got caught, and we got caught handed. I just sent you a picture in the background, Jay, of what we were just
Red, you said he got caught. I got you though. I got that. You sent it in the private chat because I don't see it yet. But when I see it, I'll pull it up. But you saying that he got caught? We already defeated that argument earlier where you said he tried to flee. So he didn't get caught.
That argument. He was
left
caught.
the area. He didn't leave the area.
He did leave the crime scene though. He didn't leave the premises because the premises is a very large area. This is suburban Texas.
Dude,
We're talking.
Red, stop saying that shit, dude. You keep saying it's a suburban. Dude, I play fucking soccer, dude. There's 3 soccer fields side by side.
Yeah,
That
well,
area was
suburban
smaller than
Texas,
goddamn
they
what the
have
fuck he was
pretty
on.
big school campuses, right?
So Red, what you're saying is that he ran off campus, like he ran off the schoolyard?
He tried to run
No,
away.
no,
That's
he
what I'm
didn't. He
saying.
didn't run off the schoolyard. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he fled the scene and he got rid of the knife.
He threw the knife in the bleachers where he
They
stabbed
got
the
the knife
motherfucker
though.
at.
They have
He
the
threw it in
evidence.
the
I
bleachers.
know they got the knife, but what I'm saying is he
where
threw the weapon away and fled the scene, which is not going to hold up good in the court.
Actually, it really would hold up good in court if you ask me, Red. To be honest with you, and you can ask me why, but I'll tell you.
Well, I'm not interested because it doesn't sound like it's very convincing.
But it's gonna be very convincing. Why would a black man run up to a police officer and have a weapon in his hand after he just?
Well, why would
The book says Jesus will come back. God will come back. There will be a reckoning when his people are returned to their land. And it says it in the Bible. And it also says it in the Quran.
In the Quran.
It says it in both of them. And guess what? Supposedly they the Israelites.
Supposedly.
So ask yourself this question. Why he ain't came back yet? According to the religion that they claim is theirs. Man, I'm like, that's why I get so pissed off. I'm like, and I think, honestly, I really think America's backing it up. I think all of them know, like, I think they actually truly believe, like the powers that be believe in the religion, and they don't want Jesus to come back. They don't want God to come back. They don't want that reckoning. So they're gonna keep propping up this group of people. That's why. What the fuck does Israel do for America? But they keep propping these people up like a motherfucker. Why they keep giving they talking about black folks getting welfare?
What you mean is hearsay?
All that first shit you heard was hearsay too, but you took that as the gospel.
And ran with
people.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app with Base 44. Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible. Knick-knack.